For EP, climbing walls and handholds is our business, but that's really not why we're here. We're here to enrich people's lives and introduce climbing to the world. We know that once somebody gets an opportunity to go indoors and climb on a climbing wall, that they're going to be hooked and they're going to be a climber for life.
Welcome to Imst in Austria for the 4th Lead World Cup for 2014. We're in the beautiful town of Imst, just 50 kilometers west of Innsbruck. It's a very small town indeed, less than 10,000 people live here. But over this weekend, 101 of the world's best lead climbers have descended on Imst for qualifications. 2,700 feet above sea level here. See, some of the best climbers in the world have arrived, and this is their final preparation before the World Championships will be taking place shortly in Gijón in northern Spain. So those 101 athletes have been whittled down this morning already, and now we have the best 26 in each category in the semi-finals, getting ready for tonight's big action. Welcome to Imst. We're live here for the IFSC Lead World Cup. My name's Adrian Battersby, and as you can see on that picture, it's an absolutely glorious day here in Austria. Beautiful conditions. Thoroughly enjoy what's going to be a superb World Cup. We've already had qualifications here this morning. It's been pretty busy. 101 athletes came here. And here is the start list for the semi-finals. The athletes have already been out and had a quick look around, and they've had a check. If we can have a look at the start lists very shortly. There is the live picture of the wall. We just saw it for a second there. As you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful evening day here. And this is how we're going to start. So you can see Kim Jae-in of Korea. She was top of the semi-finals. All these results are on the IFSC, the official IFSC results page. This is the order that they're going to start in. So Claudia Ghisolfi of Italy will be going up first. And I won't read through all of them, so obviously that's a little bit poor form really. You can see them all on the screen, so pick your favourite athletes out there. We have 26 athletes on each section. So this is the women's side of things. Here's the next 10. See a good French contingent in there, Japan well covered, and Russia. A lot of hotbed countries of lead climbing. And the final page, and these are the top ones, as you saw, Kim Jae-in. She was top of the tree when it came to the qualification, and she topped both. In fact, the only athlete to top both qualifications was Kim Jae-in. Let's have a quick look at the men. And in fact, the men very similar as well. Only one athlete managed to top both, which was Jakob Schubert, who's medalled in all of the first 3 events so far this season. Here we are in Verso. This is the order they're going to be going out in. So Christoph Hanke of Germany was 26th after the qualifications, and just to give you a feeling, his scores was that he scored a 19 plus and a 22 on his climbs, which just crept him in. He was 21st and 30th. He just got into 26th place. There's page 2. Athletes are coming out any second now. Look at the spread of countries here. Nice to see Norway, Italy, Slovenia in there with Domin Skovic, who medalled earlier on this season already. And finally, the last group. Some real big names in there, isn't there? This is going to be a fantastic event. It's always one of the favourites for the athletes to come to Imst. It's a real climbing community around here, and there's a good crowd here. Look at that view there. Absolutely beautiful evening. It's been hot conditions. Everybody's been wearing shorts and getting the shirts off. Well, the men have anyway, and enjoying the sunshine. And now we are ready for the climbers. Now, we were told they would be coming out around about 1:30, so possibly about 5 minutes to go. We, as we're waiting, as you can see, there's a little crowd that's arrived. I think the big crowd are going to be here for the finals. We can have a quick look at the current world rankings, and just looking at some of the past medalists also, perhaps. Well, let's have a look at rankings that we've got at the moment. No, that's not the world rankings at the moment. We'll get that up on the screen in a second. We are live here in Imst. It's 26 minutes past 6. For those of you who've been watching online for the last 5.5 hours, I must apologise. There was obviously an error in entering the time of the semi-finals, which I suppose can happen from time to time. We are all only human. Apologies for that if you've given up your Saturday afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you're in the world. But we are definitely live now, and we'll be here with you for the next 3 hours or so. These are the world rankings. Kim Jae-in, 3 golds, 300 points. Pretty impressive from the Korean, and dominating the lead climbing in the way that Akia Noguchi has dominated boulder climbing. Annette Verhoeven, a superb athlete in very early on in her career, first lead season in the senior category, and she's already in the top 3. Here's the men's categories. Some big names down there. Ramon Julian Paglank. I'll get that correct. I'm going to be saying it a fair few times tonight. And again, a spread of countries. Look at all those different flags all the way down the list. Sean McCall and Jakob Schubert. They're really going at each other in terms of the overall rankings, lead and boulder and speed combined. So it's always fun seeing Sean and Jakob have a go at the speed climbing, and Sean's says he's not too bad these days. There's a brilliant view of the hills here. There's a good climbing crowd turned up for the semi-finals, and they're watching on the big screen. It's not a big crowd today. It's still a work day here, isn't it, on a Friday? But we are ready to go very shortly. So here's the women's route. So let's have a little look at what the women have got to contend with, and we don't obviously go for some of the lower problems, but we're looking all the way to the top. 54 holds all the way, and in terms of this graphic, we start at number 20, and hopefully we will, for the finals, we'll certainly get the route setter, and we'll talk through the route setter, what sort of problems he was certainly looking to try and set for the athletes here. This is the men's side of things, so you see the women's are on the right hand side of the wall and the men on the left hand side here. There certainly seems to be a few little tricky areas for them, but it's always hard to tell just from looking at the graphic on the screen. And certainly for the finals tomorrow, we will get the lead, the chief route setter, who will have set the course for the finals, and he can talk us through what we're about to see. Well, it's still sunbathing weather here in Imst. It might be 6:30 in the evening. The sun is setting over the mountains. I'm sure it's going to get a little bit chilly later on today, but it is absolutely beautiful. And I would say it's really good conditions for climbing here, for the guys and the girls to give their all. They're not watching the stream. We need as much bandwidth as possible from here. DJ's getting them going. There you see. So there's a fair crowd. There's VIP tents at the top. Get your refreshments in there, and then this bank tomorrow. That bank will be absolutely full of climbing fans, and of course we're live to many of you all around the world here. There's the VIP area. So they've already got their seats all set up. Well, the umbrella's up. There is rain predicted. I must say there was rain predicted for about an hour ago, and it has not yet materialised. In fact, I'm just looking outside and I can't really see any terrible clouds there. You can see there's a couple of clouds in that distant horizon, but nothing really that suggests that we're going to be getting any rain here anytime soon. So we're just waiting for our first two athletes. And great to see a lot of people here on the chat rooms. Do send us a tweet. We're at IFSC WC. And here come our first athletes. So we've waited a little while. And here we go. So here is the first female competitor. She's just having a good look at the route here. Claudia Ghisolfi of Italy, born in 1996, so only 18 years old, from Torino, which is where the IFSC have their administrative headquarters actually. So, and here we are on the left-hand side of the screen. This is Christoph Hanke of Germany. So just sorting out our cameramen here as to which person. These, as you can see, they're very, very close together. And our cameraman on the left is getting both athletes in shot quite well here. Christoph having no trouble. Very early on though. There's a lot of finger burn to go yet for these guys start really struggling. Both Christoph and Claudia doing pretty well so far. And Christoph goes. So Christoph just had a little bit of a problem here. And of course, all you guys watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see that again. You can rewind that and have a look at that. Very pleased to say with me, joining me is one of the female competitors who unfortunately failed to qualify earlier today. Michaela Kirsch from Chicago in the United States. Chicago is a beautiful city, one of my favorites. Welcome, Michaela.
Everybody, I'm really excited to watch the comp today.
Yeah, it's great to have you on board, and yeah, if you just rest it on the top lip, then that means everybody can hear you back home. But,
right.
so conditions out there, you know, while we're watching Claudia Ghisolfi here, conditions out there absolutely stunningly hot. It was a beautiful summer's day. You know, how does it affect you as a climber when it's so hot like this?
You know, I was just sitting out there in the sun and it's pretty brutal, so I think that some of the holds are going to be a little bit greasy on these routes, but hopefully it'll get better as the day goes on, the temps drop a little bit.
Yeah. Would you rather have it like this than being damp, or would you prefer damp? Does your hand grip better when it's actually damp?
I think for me personally, and I think a lot of climbers would agree, the humidity is definitely a little bit worse than the heat,
Yeah.
especially since these routes are partly in the shade.
Yeah. And as you say that, perfect timing. She's doing well here. Now I'm not exactly sure which hold number this is she's at the moment, but she's been going a fair little while.
These routes are really long.
Oh, go for it.
These routes are really long, so the climbers have to keep up their pace for sure. They get 8 minutes to time, but climbing all the way to the top of this thing is pretty brutal. And I know that the setters wouldn't have given them many rests, so endurance has to be in top form.
Yeah. Well, that's for Claudia. That's certainly I'm looking at her career so far, and she's finished 30th and 27th. So this is actually a best finish for her so far, just reaching the semi-final stage. Meanwhile, back on the wall, and it's the next man up, and it's Kim Han-woo of Korea. It's another one of these Asian climbers, and they seem to have a production line out there, don't they? And they're all good climbers, aren't they?
Yeah, Korea and Japan especially send really strong teams to these events.
Well, Kim Han-woo of Korea. So Kim's doing well so far, and in fact I think on one of our other screens I can see our next female competitor out there, who's just out at the wall. So Michaela, we've just covered, we were covering some bouldering in Bale, and it's a great World Cup there. Are you just purely a lead climber, or do you do bouldering also?
This year I competed in the US Nationals but didn't make the team. I was at the World Cup in Vail to watch, and it was a really great show, although the Americans didn't do as well as we had hoped for.
Yeah. Well, but I remember that some of the American girls did absolutely wonderfully, and they were, we had a number in the final, and I remember there was a very young, I've forgotten her name, but
Megan Mascarenas.
Megan Mascarenas, how could I forget? She was absolutely wonderful, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's definitely one of those young crushers you got to look out for.
Yeah, she's. There's going to be some real strong Americans coming through, but you've made the journey over here. Like, are you here on holiday as well, or is this purely the only reason you come over to Europe? Are you?
I don't really take any vacations other than for climbing.
You're 100% climber, great. And the level of climbing here is quite something. Like, you're moving from a national level up to international level. And for people back home who are very good climbers back home, what would you say is the major difference between the good level climber at a national level and these guys that we're watching here in a major international final?
I think in the US it's a little bit different because our federation doesn't support us, but these athletes are handpicked to be on their teams, and they're the best of the best.
Yeah. Well, apologies if you're having a little bit of trouble hearing Michaela earlier, but we're just getting our sound levels sorted out here. We're all bang on, so all cool. And Katja Kadic here of Slovenia, she's not messing around. She almost seems to have not had much of a rest, and I suppose there's a bit of a tactic sometimes as to whether you try and take a rest early on, or do you just try and, like, Katja seems to be one of these athletes who's just going for it. She's not having a break at all. Sometimes you see some climbers and they'll have a break quite early on just to sort of get used to the wall, and then they take off.
I think part of the interesting thing about the route setting here is that they don't really give you holds good enough to rest. So if you try, you might end up just getting more tired. So it's more like a sprint to the top.
Yeah. Kim Han-woo of career. He's just looking through his records, and he's another one of these youngsters, only 18 years old. He's competed so far in Hayang, Chamonix and Briançon this year, competed in a few senior events towards the end of last year as well. And his best position was 17, so he has made a semi-final before. And he does look like an accomplished climber. I think, our cameraman on Kim just needs to, he can see what we're putting out on the big screen here as well. So, Katja Kadic. Looking good here. It's not a big crowd out there today, but the big crowd is certainly going to be coming tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. They really love their climbing here. Climbing definitely belongs to the young. Katja from Ljubljana in Slovenia. 19 years old, and there goes Kim. Oh, and he can't believe it. There's no second chance in lead, is there? You know, like in bouldering, at least if you mess up on one problem, you've got a chance to make up for it. But here, you make a mistake and you're gone.
I think that's one of the aspects of the sport that lead climbers love so much is the high stakes and the pressure. All of it can just be done in one slip of the foot, or if you just get pumped early.
So on to Katja. Looking at Katja's record, she's not actually competed too much on the main World Cup. Just having a look, she competed in 3 or 4 events in 2013, Chamonix and Briançon this year, 23rd in both climbs. So if she gets through to the final, she'll be absolutely thrilled. You can see the strain on her face starting to tell now. So fair to say, fingers will be burning a fair bit now, will you?
I think her forearms will be hurting the most.
And these holds are getting smaller and smaller. Now you see she's just started to get towards, and I love this graphic here where you actually see where the other players of athletes have positioned. So she's very close to passing, but she hasn't done. And in fact she's fallen just a bit short. Katja Kadic. Yeah, shake those fingers loose.
She's pumped.
So is it really the fingers or the arms? Well, you know, what do you feel when you're climbing? Is it the arms that give you the most trouble? Are those aching more?
I would for sure say forearms are the limiting factor in lead climbing.
Yeah. There's a brilliant view from our camera on the wall. That place will be full tomorrow night. We do have a camera that's pretty much towards the top of the wall, and it's a beautiful little remote control thing, so we're going to get some great views from up there. Next up we've got a North American, so come on Michaela, you can support him. I love his hairstyle. He's got climber's hair, hasn't he?
Love my fellow Canadians.
Actually, yeah, I believe we may have missed somebody as well. So George Palmer should have gone out next from Austria, number 24, and it looks like he's a non-starter by the looks of it. So okay, well, I'm being told he's next on the start list I'm looking at. He should have gone out before, but maybe he was an exact tie with the other athlete, but that's fine. So. That's a name. Amos Jonas McRae. That's an interesting name.
Ilan. It's Ilan.
Ilan, thank you very much. And how's the surname?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Jonas McRae.
Elaine Jonas McRae. So, Ilan. That's a very unusual name for sure. Both senses. And on the right-hand side,
Hannah Schubert.
yes, we do have our Austrian here, Anna Schubert.
I believe this is her first World Cup that she's competed in, and also her first semi-final.
Really? And no doubt she's No doubt she's. Our cameraman's just having a little trouble there with his tripod, I think. I don't actually know this, but I've got to be sure that she is the younger sister of Jakob.
She is.
Yes, thank you. From Innsbruck. With a name like Schubert, and if you're climbing at international level, you've got to be part of the same family. And what a great first event for her. She's qualified for the semi-final. You're absolutely right. She has never competed in a senior event before. This is her first event, but she's got a pretty good record. Looking at the youth competition, she's been picking up, she's picked 2 bronzes up. She picked a bronze up here in Imst in the European Youth Cup just about 2-3 months ago, and then in Edinburgh at the European Youth Championships she took the bronze medal there as well. So certainly only 16 years old. As they're, I suppose, as we're in the backyard, you might as well enter, hadn't you? So, you know, this is a chance to try yourself out against all the other international athletes. And Hannah Schubert, I'm sure her brother would like to be watching. I'm just trying to think of any other sporting families where there's brothers and sisters who are great climbers, but I'm sure there's a few out there. I think there's
Magnus Mitbo and his sister Hannah.
yes, of course. Yes.
Crushers.
Those. And there's also in Toronto as well, and I'm just struggling. I can't remember, somebody's going to have to tell me. But we had a brother-sister situation there, but Elan is down. He's not looking too happy with things there. He really didn't get into the serious part of the wall. And we'll have a little look at the leaderboard for the men shortly once we get the results in. But meanwhile, let's concentrate on Hannah here. We are on the IFSC YouTube channel, so of course it's the Cruders. Thank you very much, Merryweather. Somebody telling me on Skype, of course, the Cruders in bouldering. It was on the tip of my tongue. Well, here's Hannah just getting a bit of choke here now. Now I don't know if you watch on the IFSC channel, but we had a situation last time out in Björnsson where Sashiyama actually dropped his choke bag halfway up.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did, of course, and kept going really strong, almost to the top.
Now, from a climber's point of view, like to me, that's just incredible. But from a climber's point of view, you know, you're the guys who go up these walls. You know, that is, like, you know, she's putting so much chalk on her hands here. Look at it, she's reapplying over and over again, having a good shake.
I think a lot of it might be habit or mental, who knows?
Yeah. Well, maybe Sashiyama has just proven the fact you don't actually need a chalk bag. You can just fly straight up there, because you know, he really did look incredible, didn't he? And he took a gold at international level without a chalk bag.
I think a lot of that could also be attributed to experience in the competition scene.
Yeah, he's a hell of a climber, that's for sure. Well, Hannah Schubert's had a real good rest at that particular point, and Georg Palmer of Austria. Oh! And Hannah can't believe it, a frustration. You can just see for all to see there. She's having had a really long rest. She then goes down after about another hole, so almost a frustrating one for her. So here's Georg Palmer of the man who I accidentally said probably wasn't in the competition. It just seems to have gone slightly out of order, but no problem. I'm sure the officials know what's going on. Another youngster, all these youngsters is ridiculous. 17 years old. There's a lot of youngsters coming through in the climbing scene at the moment. And this is also his first ever senior event. And he's 17 years old. He's quite a big lad as well. He's one of these tall climbers, as we've seen time and time again. You're quite a short climber, aren't you? So
Yep, 5 feet 1.
5'1", really? Oh. So you must, there must be some holds that you really struggle to get to. Or do you just have to find another way around?
I think for the most part there's always another solution.
Yeah. But it must frustrate you when you look at the wall and you watch somebody sort out the same problem, literally just reach across
Oh,
to,
of
to get a hole.
course.
That actually sapped a lot of strength out of you to get there.
Yeah, we have a young American in the semifinal. Actually, she's almost 6 feet tall, I believe.
Yeah. So you'd think that you know, is it? It must be a slight advantage to be taller, just literally to be able to get that reach. Do you think all their situations were actually being shorter? You feel that you're an advantage over another athlete?
I feel like height is just one thing to blame it on, but when you look at strong athletes like Jane Kim, who's, you know, the reigning champion, it's really hard to like say that height has a huge factor.
Yeah. In fact, we've got our female climber who's on the wall right now, and
An American.
this is yes, who's this?
Oh, Tina from Norway.
Yep. It's Tina Johnson Hafsas of Norway. 20 years old from Oslo. See, the sun is still burning away on this wall. She was 25th in Briançon last time out, but of course that is a ranking after the semi-finals. Remember, Briançon, we did not have any final take place, and we certainly the whole village got struck. Were you in Briançon by any chance?
I was.
Was you?
I got caught in the hailstorm.
Oh,
The final was cancelled.
it was incredible. I watched the footage. Thankfully, I wasn't there, but I did watch the footage of the rain coming in. I don't know if you saw it on the IFSC YouTube
I
channel.
did.
And just this big dark cloud come in and absolutely nailed us. And then there was the footage of the lightning strike as well, and all the power going. And even our truck got hit as well. So there's been some great work from Mike and Mark here in the team, just trying to find a few different ways. And Tina's down early. Oh dear. What's the feeling you go through when that happens? Is it sort of you're half a little bit embarrassed because you've come down so early?
More insane disappointment. I know Tina in particular trains really hard and is very motivated, so this has got to be kind of a disappointment for her.
Yeah, Tina's not happy. Yeah, bad luck, Tina, but she's off, and she will definitely not be qualifying for the final. Came off the wall quite early on there. She's just having a little look down her results, and she's yet to qualify for final. And Georg Palmer down as well. Well, he did managed a little bit more, but I don't think he'll be making the final either. It's quite early on in the climb for both climbers there. See the sunset over the mountains. How beautiful is that? Well, Georg Palmer just gets himself clear of the rope, and the next two climbers are coming up. So here's the ladies. First one is out. Here's all right. Here we go. So we've got Barbara Backer of Austria. That was her B layer. Who's obviously also a climber. So Barbara Backer here now. She's been around a little bit, you could say. 31 years old, Langenfeld in Austria. We've gone from a 16-year-old to a 31-year-old. So Barbara was climbing before some of these other semi-finalists were even born. She's been climbing for a long, long time, you could say. Just looking at her history, she goes back to 1996, so absolutely she was climbing before some of these others were born. She was in the youth events and was competing in senior events back in 2001. I'm told quite reliably from a source behind me that she's a roofer, which means that she fixes roofs on her, which is quite handy if you're a good climber, I suppose. Probably still need to put the scaffolding up. But she has been climbing, and look at the air miles she's done over the years. She has been climbing a lot all the way through. And 31 years old is, well, I suppose for climbing years it's getting on a bit, but of course climbers, you never stop climbing, do you? Mikhail Chernikov of Russia. Our first Russian athlete on the left-hand side. Barbara Backer, she scored a 31 plus and a 25 in her 2 qualification climbs. So she finished 20th and 25th in those 2, and her average position came out as 22nd. So she's going to have to do something big here to get through to the final. Chernikov of Russia. Russians always do some great climbs here. And Chernikov, another one who's been around a bit, 29 years old, from Voronezh in Russia. And he's so far in the 3 World Cups, he's been 12, 28 from 44, so yet to make a final. But he's been a perennial semi-finalist. Just having a look, I don't think he's actually, don't think he's ever actually made a podium. So it's been, I suppose, what a typical American commentator would say is he's like a road player. He's like a road athlete. He's a journeyman athlete.
It's all about the fun.
Yeah, well, he's enjoying climbing for sure. He's been climbing for many, many years. And here is, this is the ladies, oh sorry, this is the men's with Kim of Korea, currently in first place with a 38 plus. As you can see, he's quite high up there, and then Jonas McRae and Palmer, but I'm pretty sure that those 2 are going to get well beaten. And if we can, I don't know if we're able to flick across to the women's easily. Oh, there you go. So there's our first, second and third, and as you can see, Schubert actually not even made it onto the line yet, so I'm pretty sure that we're going to see athletes who are going to be getting in the 40s and 50s here on the women's category. So that's how we stand at the moment. Still quite a few to go yet. Top 8 will qualify for the final. So, Michaela, you know, these routes are very long. 54 problems, was it, I think, on the women's, or 52? And, you know, you must have to try and conserve your energy a little bit and not go blasting out early on. Do you try and do that in qualification? Did you try and hold a little bit back? But then, but then also sort of make sure you don't fall off too early.
No, I think most of these athletes can give pretty much 100% on every route, and that's what they want to do. You know, they have really a big desire to top the routes.
Yeah.
And this is only the 3rd route of the day. In training, I'm sure that they do 3, 4, 5 times as many.
Yeah. It is quite strange, of course. Oh, Barbara's off. Well, she was trying to change of hands there, wasn't she? And it just, she totally, want a better word, messed that up.
Yeah, sequencing can be really hard on routes like this that are particularly technical, and it's one mistake you can be off pretty quickly.
Yeah. So she seemed to get a little bit sort of twisted with the right and left arm, and really she should have, you know, like in the end she never got the right arm in, and then let go with the left hand, and that, you know, you've got to have one hand on there or you're history, aren't you? So Barbara Backer won't be making the final. She's gone down fairly early on. We don't have live scoring here at the moment, so I can't give you the exact scores. That's a lovely view from right underneath Mikhail there. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful day. Look at that blue sky. Well, Mikhail's down and you can see the frustration. Oh. It's got to be the worst feeling ever. You're sitting in isolation and you come out and you go up there and suddenly you're off before you know it.
Yeah, it takes a lot of mental preparation for these competitions, you know, going through qualifiers and all of the training leading up to these events, so coming off early is not a good feeling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, crowd are just sitting back and enjoying themselves. There's more people coming in. Of course, a lot of people are working. There's only 10,000 people actually living in Imst, so a lot of people do come into this town for the climbing alone. And of course, on a Friday night, it is a work day. So here's Solène Amoros. No puns on the surname. I was going to say I'd love to see her climb. is she was born in '97. So another 17 years old from Briançon. So you know, she probably had to do some of the mopping up after the storms last time out.
She climbed really well last weekend in the semi-final.
Yeah. And last weekend she finished 22nd overall. And you were climbing last, you know, in Briançon, and you know you're obviously aware of the situation that there was quite a chance of us not actually making the final. The weather conditions were planned to be pretty terrible. Being interested to see what the Tour de France would have done to get around that situation as well. But you know, was that the feeling amongst the athletes who were in the semi-finals? That, you know, we've got to do it all here.
I think for the most part, athletes really want to compete in the final because that's what it's all about. It's not really about the result anymore for them. They want to get to the top of these routes. They want to prove that it can be done.
Yeah. This is Selene's third senior World Cup. Finished 42nd in Chamonix, 22nd in Briançon. So this is the first one outside of her home country. And on the left, Francesco Bettarata. Another one of these very tall athletes. 22 years old. From a town called Feltry. I'm not sure where that actually is. Finished 20th and 10th in Chamonix and Briançon. Has competed mainly on the European events. It's quite expensive going out east. These two athletes almost touching as they go up here. They're just at the same time. These routes are very, very close indeed, for sure. We were just chatting earlier, Michaela, about the expense of climbing abroad, and you know, sort of, and you obviously in Chicago. You know, even just within the stage, it must cost a lot in airfares to get around for national competitions and to be competing at that top level.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely cheaper for us to compete in the US than to come to Europe. But for the most part, I'd say a lot of strong climbers live in Boulder, Colorado, where we have a lot of competitions in the area. So it works out nicely for them. But for everyone else, I think it's worth it to travel. The US comps are always fun and high energy.
No, the US comps always seem to be pretty popular and well watched, but you know, do you feel that you get it? Oh, and Selene's down, and it was I think that was a similar place as Barbara as well. She was just trying to reach across with her right hand, realised it wasn't going to happen, and before she's got time to recover, she's off.
I think when you're pumped, big crosses with a lot of body tension are really difficult.
Yeah. Francesco Bettarata of Italy. Making good progress here. There you see, he's well in the middle now. So, although we've got top 3 on the screen, it's the top 8 that matter. That will fill up as we get more and more climbers competing. But currently he's on 37. In fact, there's an update already. Thank you very much, Mike. So already he's working his way into second place. But there's still a lot more climbing to go yet. And you know, you look at the names of some of these, and you know, you must feel the same when you're in qualification. You look at the start list, and you look at it, you know, Kim Jae-in and some of these amazing athletes who've dominated the sport for years, and you're like, God, am I in the same field as this girl?
Definitely an intimidating thing. But you know, in competitions, anything can happen.
Oh, Veterata tried that reach around the corner, but just didn't get it. So Rebecca Stotts here, who's climbing in this beautiful sunshine. This doesn't feel like, you know, Briançon 2 weeks ago, absolute thunderous conditions. Here we are, it's like we're in the Mediterranean. So far we've seen a fair number of climbers. We've seen sort of 7 or 8 go out there. What are your thoughts so far, Michaela, as to what you know, what we're seeing?
I think that the setters did a really great job making these routes technical to get a lot of separation in the results, and it really just goes to show that every move requires full effort, and everything, it's all delicate, you know. If you place your foot in the wrong place, then you can come off, and not necessarily the strongest, but also the smartest climbers will get the furthest.
Yeah. Well, just looking at the leaderboard for the qualifications, you finished 32nd, so you're only 6 places out of a semi-final, so very, very close. So you know, will you go to bed tonight thinking, oh God, you know, if only I'd have just slightly tried a different way of getting that particular, or did you just make a mistake on your climbs?
I think I got pretty pumped on these climbs. I'm happy with my performance. Of course, it could be better, but if you think about every little thing in the competitions, there's just so many of them, you'll never be able to progress. So, on to the next.
Yeah. Rebecca Stotts, looking good so far, but it's very early for her. And it's Alphonse Dornaer of Austria. Rebecca Stotts, 22 years old, from Erdorf in Austria. It's hard holding this microphone up, isn't it, all the time?
Yeah.
This is, you know, the real athletes are in the TV truck, I tell you.
Getting pumped here.
Yeah. This is good. You could call this training, you know. You could doing this for 2 or 3 hours, holding the microphone to your mouth.
Gonna have to switch up my hands.
In Briançon and Chamonix, Rebecca was 34th and 29th respectively, and she's one of these climbers who dabbles with a bit of bouldering as well. So she was 6th in Grindelwald, Switzerland this year. So she's a very accomplished bouldering athlete. In fact, looking down her list, she seems to be do better in the bouldering than she does the lead, but she obviously enjoys the lead more because she competes in more lead events. So sometimes that's how it is with athletes, isn't it? You know, she might get a medal, but she actually prefers the lead climbing.
Yeah, she's a very talented athlete, and I know that she also likes outdoor climbing and is actually studying in university to be a physiotherapist.
Right. Well, she's looking good here. As for Alphonse Dornier, well, 20 years old, from Finkenberg in Austria, and this is his first lead World Cup. He's competed in 3 bouldering events and finished 35th in Grindelwald, 25th in Innsbruck, 27th in Laval, and he's made a little pop across now to try a bit of lead out. And that happens a lot, isn't it, with climbers? That, you know, I remember interviewing Anna Sturr, and she started out as a lead climber, and she actually flipped to bouldering because she couldn't get in the lead team for Austria when she was young. So she said, well, I'll start doing some bouldering instead, and then realised she was really, really good at it. And, you know, that does happen a lot, that people will flip between the two.
Yeah, I think it's just whatever you can motivate yourself for and whatever you find is truly your passion.
Yeah, well, Alphonse Dornauer of Austria is having trouble there. That's a little bit early on for him, and he goes. So all eyes on Rebecca Stotts now.
She's going to need that rest.
Yeah.
Lots of climbing coming up.
This is an interesting hold here, isn't it? This is just like this is just a big box on the side.
Yeah.
And there's another one coming up later as well.
Lots of volume climbing in European setting.
No, I'm a little bit confused with this angle because she's not upside down, so I think our cameraman had turned his camera.
No,
sideways.
she's practically upside down.
Pretty much upside. Yeah, she is actually, isn't it? Yeah.
This route is very overhanging.
Oh, and there's no hold at all on there. She's trying to find a hold on the side of that box. It just wasn't there, was it? It was a little bit further back. And, well, I'll be interested to see where she actually reached in the whole scheme of things, because I think she's done pretty well there. I think she climbed quickly. So though she wasn't on the wall a lot, she was actually progressing pretty fast. Let's have a look where we are. Let's have a look at the men's competition as we stand. So here we go with our top group. And Veterato, the Italian, who just went up, actually leads at the moment. So he dropped out on 41 plus. So he'll be hoping and praying. There's still quite a few climbers to go. But he's got a final spot possibly. Now, although these are marked as gold, silver and bronze actual lines, of course, this is the semi-final, so there's no gold, silver and bronze medal here. These are just qualifications. And while we wait for the women to come out, in fact, while we wait for both athletes, let's look at the women's group. So let you see the boxers on the right-hand side, on the underhang. And they're very strange, aren't they? So, no, yeah, so, okay, so there's no doubt that Rebecca Stotts is leading now. I think she was in and around the sort of 39-40 mark. Because that's the first time we've seen those boxers, isn't it, today? So, and fair to say, some of the athletes a little bit further down, dropping out. So that's how we stand at the moment. So Ghisolfi of Italy, who's our first athlete out, she's still in with a good chance. Next two up on the wall, and it's Loïc Timmermans of Belgium on the left, 19 years old, and a man who's actually, considering he's so young, has actually competed quite a lot on the senior circuit. He's started in Peurs, Belgium in 2011, so this is his 4th year of senior competition. Was 47th in Chamonix, 38th in Briançon. He's actually had a little dip in form recently. Those two results are probably his 2 worst results for a couple of years. So he'll be wanting to do a little bit better here. And on the right, Andrea Ebner of Italy. She was 19th after the qualifications, 17 years old, from Bressanone, and she's not competed in too many events. She competed here last year and finished 28th, and was in Briançon finishing in 34th. So Briançon was definitely quite an unusual event. There's not many climbing events where you actually see the event cancelled. You know, it's not a very common thing, is it, for an event to be called off because of weather?
No, I'd say not. But, you know, in Europe there's a lot of outdoor walls, especially these last 3 have all been outside. So weather is a huge factor. You can't climb when the wall's wet.
No, absolutely not. And, you know, they were trying their best to dry it out, but I think once the real thunder and lightning started coming down and the guys were still at the wall trying to dry, I think they had to realise that it was time to call it a day. And you guys were all in isolation, I presume, in some hall somewhere, and you could hear the rain coming down. Oh, so it was just, yeah, sorry, just the finalists there. So you were outside watching them, were you? And you got caught in it.
Getting ready to watch. And then the hail came.
Yeah. Andrea Ebner of Italy is down and out, and she seems to have hurt her knee a little bit there as well. Looks as if so Timmerman on the left, So Timmerman's getting and there's a little bit of treatment here going on for Andrea Ebner. I'm not sure what's going on here, but looks like okay. She hit a hold on the way down. Don't know if we can see a picture. Just she's just having trouble with her knee there. She's just taking her time, but I suppose that's a danger I never really envisaged. That if you're coming down at pace, you've got to make sure there's no big boulder in the way that you're just going to bang your knee on a corner or something.
I think it's pretty unusual. We don't see it very often in competition.
Yeah. Well, at the moment she's holding the competition up because she's not moving. And we need to get the stretcher on and get the next climber on. Like Timmermans, by the way, is looking pretty comfortable here. Well, so far it's just men. Ebner's still having a bit of treatment there, so Timmerman climbing up. Yeah, great view here. See the
Oh
wonderful
no, missed the clip.
Oh, he's missed a clip, yeah. Is that and he hasn't noticed, has he?
I bet you he has.
Yeah, you think he's going to try and make up for it? Yeah,
Yep.
Here we go. Wow. Because if you don't take the clip, then that's it, it's over, isn't it? Even if you carry on climbing.
If your feet pass the draw, then they'll call you off.
Yeah. And I certainly know from past events as well, you're not allowed to use a clip as a hold, which I think Mr. Jakob Schubert, I remember a couple of years ago, having trouble in Chamonix when he put his foot on a clip without realising it and thinking it was a hold and actually getting an advantage. So Ebner is helped off. Hope she's okay. And of course we have the World Championships coming up in Gijón in Spain. Not too far away now, is it? And are you planning to be going there, Michaela, as well? Is that part of your European tour?
I am actually going back to the U.S. next week for the Deepwater Soloing Cup, so no World Championships for me this year.
So, well, you'll be able to watch it on IFSC TV, so you'll be able to say hello to us in the chat room. Talking of which, we've been a little bit busy here. We've not been able to keep an eye on the chat room, but if you do want to chat to us, ask us any questions. IFSC WC is the hashtag. You can see it in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. And good to see Sheila's chatting away. Sheila, the finals in Briançon were called off because the mayor closed the venue for safety concerns during the lightning strike. Absolutely. No point risking life and limb for a sporting competition. And as Mike says, there's also no power, which you really do for a nighttime competition.
Oh.
Look, Timmermans is away. So he was having a little bit of trouble there. And he's down. And Solveig Köhrer of Germany in the ladies competition. And she's not one I've actually heard of much, and the reason is because she's only 16 years old and this is her first ever senior competition. She's only competed in 3 youth events beforehand, so twice in Imst. So she's not from Steislingen in Germany, so she's not far away from here. This must be her nearest stop off. We're not far from the German border. I came over from Germany this morning myself, from Munich. She was 15th in 2013, 5th in 2014, and she competed in the European Youth Championships in Youth A and came in 13th place. So this is actually this is an amazing result for her, isn't it? To be in a semi-final with the big girls, and she's only 16 years old.
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of young climbers who can do really well in these events.
And Solveig Köhrer is one of them. Well, I am keeping an eye on the Twitter, so any questions you've got to fly over here, then just send them away. We are live, and of course we'll be live tomorrow for the finals. Apologies if you were trying to watch about 4 or 5 hours ago. I think there was a human mistake made on the timing on YouTube. Max Rudiger of Austria. Now, there's a name I've seen many times before.
Very strong
He's
competitor.
on the left-hand side.
Max is a really strong competitor. He's been in the game for a long time. I
Yeah.
think that we'll see something really cool here.
Yeah, he's been around a lot, and he's only 20 years old, which I can hardly believe. Because he's been climbing a long time, and he climbed here in Imst in 2009. It was his first Senior World Cup, so that was 5 years ago, which makes him 15 years old, and he finished in 19th place, which isn't bad going when you're only 15, is it? He's been competing on the juniors and the seniors since, and been having a few medals, but in the seniors of the past couple of years, yet to actually make a final. And the competition is so hot, isn't it? So many great athletes in there that you know, when you've got people like Sachiyama and Poblanc of Spain, and so, you know, some of these top guys who they're always going to get to finals. It doesn't leave many spaces for those normal human beings who want to actually get into that spot, does it? It really makes it tough.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. I mean, these are the best competitors in the world. But in competition, anything can happen, you know. Whoever has a good day or what the route works for.
Yeah. I can guarantee Kim Jong-un's going to make the finals.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw in Chamonix, Adam Ondra skipped a clip in qualifiers and it kept him out of the semi-final.
Absolutely. Great point. Great point. And Adam, who's, you know, he really is one of those enigmas in climbing. He's a real superstar in the making. Oh, Solveig Kerr is down. She won't be making the final later on. So the 16-year-old done very well indeed. Her competition is over, and you can see Max Rudiger is now up to the level that she was at. He seems to have, he looks like a very powerful athlete, doesn't he, this guy?
I think the men's routes require a lot of power as well as endurance.
Yeah. And these holds are just ridiculous, aren't they? There's just hardly anything there.
Yeah, these yellow slug-looking holds are very slopey, not as good as you might think.
Yeah, yeah. And remember, these guys aren't just climbing up a straight, they're going backwards. So he's trying to get a grip. Oh! No, that's... Do you put that as a mistake? Because to me, he was testing the grip just to see what the grip felt like. It came away, and he actually didn't have a good enough grip with his left hand.
He actually missed the knee bar there that Loic took, and it served as a good rest, so I think he could have clipped there and recovered a little bit, which would have led him to go further on the route.
Well, Max Adrian Rudiger is definitely going to be one that he might be tossing and turning in bed tonight, not getting any sleep, because he might be just rethinking that over and over again. It looked like just a bit of a mistake on that particular hole. Well, the next climbers are coming out already, so they're not messing around here. Yeah, let's have a quick look at the results, because it's always good to see how people are getting on. And here we are. This is the women's side of things. So Stotts, as we said, she's the first one to get to those boxes, whatever we want to call them, almost like little coffins or something that are up there upside down. And she's the only one who's actually made that area. So she's going to be fancying a chance of a final, considering that she started quite early. And here's the men's side of things. And Betterata still leads. I'm just trying to see where Rudiger came off. Oh, yep, he's just popped in there. There you go. So he was on 31 plus. So he's actually a little way down, and but you can see that nobody's actually come off between there and, you know, sort of 38, 39. So if he'd have actually held that, he'd have fancied himself to get another 10 places at least. So next up from Austria on the left-hand side, Lucas Kubb, the 22-year-old from Dornbirn. He hasn't competed in any World Cups this year. His last position was Perm in Russia 2013, where he finished in 15th place. And here's a bit of a famous name, isn't it? Jenny Levada. She's done a lot in her career. She's 30 years old, from Marostica, and has been climbing, well, a long time. Another one of these athletes who's been climbing as long as the age of some of these other competitors. She competed in Briançon and Chamonix. She's looking at her list, she tends to compete in some of the Central European events. She doesn't want to travel so much. She did the Asia Tour back in 2012, but since then she's kept to Chamonix, Briançon and Imst, and also Perth. Chamonix and Briançon this year, she was 18th and 21st, so. But she has been an athlete who's another one that's been around for a long, long time, and obviously she just loves her climbing. So Michaela, when did you actually get into climbing yourself?
I started climbing 12 years ago and did my first international comp in 2009. Oh, 2008.
And what got you into it? You know, was it your parents that got you into climbing, or?
I think for the most part, kids have a natural inclination to climb, and that was definitely me on the monkey bars around the house. And my parents got sick of chasing me around, so they took me to a climbing gym, and that's pretty much where I've stayed the last 12 years.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going through that process exactly. I have a 7-year-old, and he's definitely going to be a climber, so he's going to be a top British climber, so watch out for the name. But, you know, and that's the thing, isn't it? A lot of these athletes have come up, and it doesn't need parents to actually be climbers, because, you know, there's so many climbing gyms around the place and climbing arenas that you can actually just go and get stuck into it yourself. You don't need parents to actually introduce you to the sport.
Yeah, I think another great thing about climbing is the community, and it's usually really open and inviting, so you can always find someone to climb with. You don't need a partner already. It's a great place to make new friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the climbing community is certainly a wonderful community to be a part of, and here we are in deepest Austria. I was in a place called Cornwall in the sort of southwest of England just a few days ago, and there was a big show, and the biggest thing that was going on was the climbing wall. All the kids were on it. The queues were going on forever, and you know, it was a charity gig that was going on. There was lots of other events, but the climbing wall was the one that all the kids wanted to go up. And of course, now people are making climbing walls so easily, and you can put them on the back of a trail and then pop them up very easily. It's you know, climbing is becoming much more accessible to the to people in the street, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing to see the climbing world growing so much, and you know, we tried for the 2020 Olympics, but hopefully the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, Cobb and Levada, no problem so far yet. So you can see here Levada just making, oh, Lucas Cobb has gone. And he was in and around that, he was in the same place that we just saw the last guy go, in and around that sort of 30-31 spot. But Levada, let's have a close look at, because she's reached the boxes, so she's only the second athlete to actually get to this position. These look hellishly difficult, don't they?
Mm-hmm. A lot of core tension in roof climbing.
So now she's upside down. She's got a clip there. Look at this, how can you hold this position too long? Well, let's get a close-up, let's just see closely what she's doing. Here we go, so on to the next, and this is where Stotts went. So Stotts had trouble here. She got that hold, but then she didn't know what to do at this point. So Levada very close to taking the lead here, and all those years of experience. Interestingly enough, we've had a lot of juniors going up, but it's some of the older ones who've actually shown their class here, isn't it? Who, you know, all those years of climbing experience has got to help.
Yeah, I think in competitions especially it's really useful because a lot of it is mental. You can never take that for granted.
Yeah. And that's a good bit of experience there. Levada just goes backwards. She knew that she got herself into a little awkward situation, and she just went backwards for a second just to regather her thoughts. Now this is a big one because she's upside down right now, and now she's got to get round this corner. I don't know if there's a better angle. There's a better angle. You can see. But that's a brilliant angle, isn't it? So she's been upside down for quite a long time. Now she's trying to get back out onto the level. She's got a corner to get around. That's almost a blind hold. She's gone into the lead. There's no doubt about that. I think our male left. Oh! Well, I'm sure she's got. Well, she's not happy at all. I was going to say, I'm sure she's going to be happy that she's got a chance of a final, but was that just a mistake she made there?
It looked like she just didn't have enough tension to hold on the swing, getting her feet up, and her hand slipped off.
Oh, lead climbing, you just don't get a second chance, do you? Jenny Levada of Italy. She goes into the lead though. Well done, Jenny. Don't be too hard on yourself. She is the first person to get over that edge and move on up. Now from Slovenia, here is Urban Primozic. As I said, Primozic. And another one of these tall, long-legged types. 22 years old, lives in Kranj, or I should say Kranja. Gotta get these pronunciations spot on. And of course, the final Lead World Cup event is there at the end of, I believe it's middle of November, around the end of the season, and that's where the World Cup will be decided. We're in this strange situation, of course, with bouldering. The World Cup standings have been finished now, and we've just got the World Championships to come in Munich. And then as with lead, we have the World Championships in Gijón, and then we actually carry on the World Cup. And a few more events to go, of course, quite a few more in Asia. Primozic was 8th place in Chamonix, so reached the final in Chamonix. And on the right-hand side,
Claire Burfind from Texas.
Claire Burfind.
Also known as the Terminator in her home state. She is a young crusher for sure.
15 years old.
Claire's birthday is in 2 days, I believe.
Yeah. What a great birthday present this would be then.
She also qualified to compete in Noumea for the Youth World Championships coming up later in the year.
Great. Well, we're going to see a lot more of her in Noumea. We'll be bringing all that to you live later on in the year. Claire, as we're talking about Mascarenas, who's 16 years old, tremendous boulder, and this girl's got a bit of talent, hasn't she, on the lead side?
Definitely, she placed 3rd at our Open Nationals this year, was the 3rd girl to top the final behind Delaney, who will compete later in the semifinal, and Sasha, of course.
Yeah, yeah. So here we go. Here's a good view. In fact, here's a great view here. Urban Primozic is getting towards the leading position for the men's. There you see it. He's on 40. He's on 40 so far. So currently in second place. And he's just got to get round this corner here. Claire Burfind is still got a little way to go. She's got a very German-sounding name for. I presume her parents are German or
I'd
Austrian,
imagine.
perhaps, yeah.
I mean, come on, the U.S. is a place of immigrants.
It's a big mixture, yeah. Oh, Primozic holds on to that. I think that's taken him into the lead. That's number 43. So he is now in the lead, and he's taken the next one. This is a great move here from Primozic.
Trying to work a knee bar in there.
Yeah. Well, he must. Oh! And,
Claire's going into the volumes now.
yeah, Claire's doing fantastically here. She's only the third athlete to get to these volumes. Well, Primozic has taken the lead in the men's, so there's only about 15 athletes to go. And now, all concentration. This is, you can see she's totally upside down here. You don't get a good view. There's the camera that gives you the view. She is absolutely upside down at this moment. You can see from, in fact, her chalk bag is probably the best way of seeing that. You can see it's hanging directly down. And her hair, of course, yes. Come on, Claire. She's passed Stotts, so she's now into second place.
Very talented young athlete.
Oh, this is quite incredible here. Oh! Well, for 15 years old, and she's looking disappointed at the end. And yeah, she's blaming her hand. You know, what happened there, Michaela?
Oh, she has a wrist injury that could be bothering her, but honestly, she looked tired. These routes are really, really long and taxing for the athletes.
Yeah, and that was her left wrist, was it, that she's had trouble with before?
I believe so.
Yeah. So looks like it's in fact just gave up on her a little bit. Let's have a look at the leaderboard then as we stand. This is, yeah, we're just a little, sometimes we're maybe 10 or 20 seconds behind on real time. We are, the results all go up into the cloud and whiz around the planet a few times before we get them. This is bang up to date though, because Primozic with a 46 plus is well in the lead, and he will be watching keenly. You know, when you compete in these events, you just literally sit down and watch what the others do, and you're just in a nicer way as possible, hoping that a few of them fall off so that you can get through to the final.
I think one of the best things about the sport is that the competitors are so supportive of each other. You know, they're our friends. Yeah. We're all friends with each other, and I've never personally heard any ill will to another competitor while watching. I think the great thing about this sport is it's all about progression, and somebody has to get to the top.
Yeah. Here's the women's, and Burfind is in second place. So that was a great climb from her. Levada leading in with 45, and as we said, the top 8. So our scoring screen there shows the top 8 athletes, but of course some of those are certainly going to drop off because we have some real class acts to come. And we are getting into the top half of the draw now. So Christine Schranz, who was in 15th place after the qualification, so we're about halfway through all this. She competed in Chamonix and Briançon, was 32nd and 33rd respectively, so she hasn't had a very good 2014 by her standards. Just looking at 2012, she only competed in bouldering in 2013 in Innsbruck, so obviously she lives in this area, and had a little pop at the bouldering, didn't do so well at that, but in 2012 her climbing was much better. She finished 8th in Kranja and was 11th and 15th. She popped over to Atlanta and had a go at the lead climbing over there. So and was second in the Rockmaster in Arco in 2012, which was an absolutely fantastic event. Mario Lechner is on the right-hand side from Austria. 2014 events. In Haiyang was 20th, Chamonix 35th, and Briançon 34th. So just taking a little break there, Mario Lechner doing really well here. He's back up into that major area where there's only 2 or 3 guys have managed it here. We saw one of them fail trying to get around this corner. Christian Strand still in the early section yet. But yeah, she's just taking a little bit easier there. But Lechner, ooh, he had a little test hold there, didn't he?
Holding on. Whoa.
Oh my goodness, no way.
Little slip of a foot.
Oh, good. This guy is not going to sleep at all tonight. Whoever's in the room next to him is going to be, or sharing a room with him, is not going to get any sleep either. Unless he lives down the road, of course. Lechner, yes, from Austria. Mario, yeah, he's still giving it. He had a test there, didn't he? He tested one hold, didn't work out, tried the bigger volume, that one came good, and then didn't sort of think the next step ahead. And is that one of the things with climbing? You've got to think what your next move's going to be, and he sort of seemed to have got put off a little bit by that.
Of course, it's all about climbing well. It looked like his foot slipped off the volume, and it just caused him to spin off.
Well, he's that's cost him a finals place. He's actually right. Well, that's quite interesting. He's just thrown his tote bag over the wall, and it landed on top of our van, of our OB truck, which is round the back of the wall. And
can we keep it as a souvenir?
Yeah, we've possibly got it as a souvenir. I'm sure he'll be looking for it in a second. We'll give it you next week, Mario. If you don't get it, and you're watching this on the replay. Christina Schanz of Austria climbing alone at the moment, and our next athlete is out already on the men's, so they're not messing around here. Christina's starting to right now. It's good to concentrate on Christina. So, while the male athletes, of course, all the athletes are getting the first 20 quite easily. And as you've seen, we don't even bother with graphics on those ones. Let's just keep an eye on Christine here, because this
Just a little bit low on the hold.
Yeah, she just messed up with that little crossover with the right hand, and realised that you know, she wasn't going to get that hold at all. And that's the trouble, isn't it? You've got to be 100% right on every move, because if you do get it wrong, you're down. There's no second chance.
Yeah, the climbing here is definitely technical, especially in the bottom portion of the wall, which is definitely more vertical than the upper part.
Yeah. Where Manuel Romain of France, 26 years old, another one from Briançon, so was probably mopping up the mess after all those incredible storms. If you haven't seen the highlight video on the IFSC YouTube channel, please have a little look at that. It's really interesting to see how the rain came in. If you've got any questions for Michaela, do ask, including Ashley Scott. Michaela's reading your question. Do you think that not having practiced on the DWS wall this week will affect your performance at the weekend? DWS wall?
Deep water soloing. I would definitely say it's going to affect me. I am pretty terrified of taking a fall into the water at this event, but maybe it's for the best. I don't know what it's going to be like until I'm at the top.
So you're going to climb up a wall, and when you fall, you're in the water.
I'm going to climb up the wall and hopefully get to the top and jump when I'm ready. No surprises.
I suppose it cleans the chalk off the hands, I suppose, but it'd be quite messy water if you're one of the later climbers, won't it? Oh my goodness, I don't think I fancy that at all. It's just going to be a layer of chalk on the top. We are live. I am keeping an eye on the chat room, so if you are watching, I know there's a fair few thousand of you watching on various, either on the YouTube channel or on the 24/7 backup channel, then do pop in and have a look at either. And it's always good to see some of your comments. It's a little bit quiet at the moment, so come and say hi. We are keeping an eye. And lead climbing does allow us to do it. It's one thing I did notice with bouldering, that there is absolutely no chance. There is so much going on with bouldering that there is no chance for you to really have a breath and have a chat. And whereas with lead climbing, you know, we've got a situation at the moment where both these climbers are a little bit way down the wall. They're, you know, for the next minute or so, they're just going to be climbing, aren't they?
Hopefully.
Especially at these levels. We haven't got the female name up yet. I think our director's...
Julianne Chanourdi.
Julianne Chanourdi. That's a lovely name. She's 18 years old. From Charleville, Mézières. Mézières? Is that how you say it?
Who knows with French?
Yeah. Just Commentator Street. Just say what you think it is and go with that. She was 22nd in Chamonix and 15 in Briançon this year, and she's been on the medal podium. This could be a girl of the future. Just looking at the youth categories and junior category, she's been winning silvers and bronzes. She's been on the podium a few times. She won a gold in Edinburgh at Ratho in 2013 at the IFSC Lead in the European Youth Cup there. So still early days for both athletes yet. And of course this is a fixed structure here that's we've seen many times, and it's quite unique in a way, because some of the lead climbs, some of the lead walls, they sort of undulate all over the place. This one is pretty straight, and then it has the massive underhang. So if you get up to that area, it's like, okay, you're feeling strong, but then you've got the real trouble, because suddenly the big underhang comes up, doesn't it?
Yeah, then you have the giant roof, and most importantly the head wall before the top, which is definitely going to be some very tricky moves.
So we can definitely say allez here with two French athletes on the course, and Julia just having a little bit of a break. Just that's an area where the athletes tend to just take a rest, and you know, they're all doing it here, aren't they? In this particular hole, just letting the fingers
they don't get a lot of options on these routes to take a rest, so
No.
I'm sure that this is a relief for them.
When you look at a wall beforehand, is that something you are looking for?
Absolutely.
You're looking to say, look, there's a possible stop point. There's a definite stop point. You know, is that what's you are looking for your rest areas?
I think first the athletes will look for the sequence, you know, which hand goes where, in what order, and then you look where you can clip, and you also look where you can rest, and possibly the trickier parts compared to the easier.
Yeah. Well, the sun has gone down here, so you're starting to see that they're actually getting the spotlights on the athletes here. In fact, to me, those pictures are looking a little bit sharper now. Certainly that one, the one on the right is looking really good with the spotlight on it. It's standing out. The natural light's gone. We've still got a fair bit of time to go. Here's Romain here now. He's getting to this little awkward spot. This is around the corner. We are going to be having a stop shortly, by the way, because we're going to be halfway through, so they'll be cleaning all the holds, and we'll have a little rest, chance to go and rehydrate. Everybody back at home here as well. Oh, well, Romain. Oh, no way.
So close to holding it.
Well, he nearly went just a second before, didn't he? He went for the long reach, and then that almost unsettled him. And you've got to say that was a mistake from him there. So Yulia Chanoudry
Getting into the business.
Yeah, this is the business end, isn't it? This is the tough bit. We've only seen, is it 3 or 4 climbers now get to this particular area, and only one, Rebecca Stotz, has actually gone past these 2 boxes.
No, and also Claire
Jenny
and
went,
Jenny
sorry. No, Rebecca, yes, Rebecca fell off on this one, but
on the next box.
yeah, Jenny went all the way to the top. Here we go. What's she doing here? That's good. This is where Stotz came off.
This is going to be a tricky clip for her.
This is a tough one. Clip there. There's a lot of strength she's having to use now. Reach up. Oh, what a reach there. Look at that. Beautiful hole, but the second one she couldn't. And I think she reached the natural end there, didn't she, on that climb?
It was a good fight for sure.
Yeah, she was really hanging on for grim death, but she just managed to get a touch on that other hold. And I think, yeah, we'll have a look at the position shortly. Let's see where we stand at the moment with the men's. I think we've got one more climber to go, and then we're at the halfway point. Oh, they're cleaning right now. We are at the halfway point. Right, there you go. So Urban Primozic of Slovenia is leading by a good, what's that, 4 and a bit, 4 and a plus over Mario Lechner of Austria and Betterata of Italy, Romain of France. But yeah, 31 is the point, but I'm pretty sure that, to be honest, it's probably going to be those top 3 that who still have realistic hopes of getting through to the final, and possibly even then it's going to be tough. There's still 13 athletes to go, isn't there? So, and they're all really great climbers to come.
Absolutely.
Jenny Levada currently leading on the ladies. Now those volumes, the box holds there, have certainly been an issue for some of the girls. And as you see, they've caught some of them out. Chanoudry in second place there of France, and Bourfind of the United States currently in third. So you're quite happy there with Claire, 15-year-old, still in a good chance.
Yeah, I've seen Claire grow as a girl and a climber over the last few years, and I'm definitely proud of what she's accomplished for herself.
So as you can see, they're starting to clean now. It's not there's two climbers suddenly. They're actually cleaning the route now. So we're going to let them clean. And what we're going to do is we're going to just show you a little summary of what's happened so far in the Lead World Cup so far. This is the 4th stop. We've only had 3 so far, haven't we? There's quite a lot more to go. And of course, the bouldering season well and truly over. But people like Sean McCall and Jakob Schubert, well, they've still got a lot of climb to do. They climb big on the lead. Let's have a look at the first 3 events taken place so far. IFSC Lead World Cup 2014 started east in Hayang. And Annette Verhoeven, new young star of the sport for sure, from Belgium in her first full season in the senior category. Just falling short there, she took a bronze. In silver medal position, Magdalena Rook of Austria, the youth world champion from 2013. She took the silver medal. And in gold medal position, well, we had a few youngsters with silver and bronze, but in gold medal position, it was one of the established stars of the sport, Kim Jae-in of Korea, taking the gold medal. In the men's category, Gauthier Soupier of France, the youngster making his way, he took the bronze. Sean McCall, who we've seen a lot of on the Bouldering World Cup, and of course he's got a big competition for the overall points. Well, he took the silver, just failing with that particular move. And then it was Jakob Schubert, his arch rival, who failed there, but it was good enough to take the gold. Next up was Chamonix. Amazing number of spectators in Chamonix Square, one of the favourite venues for many athletes. And in bronze medal position, it was Mina Markovic, one of the established names on the tour from Slovenia. Magdalena Rock here, taking the silver medal. The Austrian, the young Austrian, 2 silvers in a row. You see her just tying up here, going for the stretch and almost getting that hold. But in gold medal position again, it was Kim Jae-in, queen of the sport, absolutely superb form. On the men's category, Domen Skofic of Slovenia, his first ever senior medal, and he took the bronze medal. Jakob Schubert, gold medalist from Hayang, the Austrian, coming back after injury, he took the silver. And Sachi Ama of Japan showing superb form here in Chamonix with a big audience cheering him on. He's annoyed there that he failed, took the gold. Ryun-song was next, and we had some incredible weather. Torrential rain, lightning took out power in the whole village. So the athletes knew that when they completed their semi-finals, it was possible that these semi-finals would determine gold, silver and bronze. And bronze medal was Annette Verhoeven. Magdalena Rock taking the silver on countback. And Kim Jae-in, her 3rd gold in a row. A hat-trick of golds here for Kim Jae-in. And she finished 7 moves ahead of the rest of the field. Absolutely superb form from the Korean. Jakob Schubert here, he took the bronze, so 2 silvers and a gold, a silver and a bronze from history events. Romain Degrange of France, he ended up with the silver medal, just failing there with that reach. And it was Sachi Ama, and just look behind him here, there's no choke bag. That choke bag dropped halfway up the wall, and incredibly, he takes the gold here, having had no ability to re-choke his finger. So that was our review of what's happened so far. Only 3 events. Michaela, you know, you were beyond something. Did you go to Chamonix as well?
I did.
Yeah. And what were your views on Chamonix? 'Cause that's a pretty awesome place, isn't it?
It was really beautiful after the competition, but during it was a little bit rainy and cloudy, so it was hard to tell, but a great event, nice crowd.
Yeah. Well, we've got a climber out already, so our little filler video did a nice job for us there. And, you know, we're getting into the evening now, so, you know, from a climber's point of view, Michaela, you know, we've had quite hot conditions and, you know, pretty good sunshine. And now it's starting to get, you know, I can feel it's a bit chilly already, even though it's coming into the truck. So, you know, from a climber's point of view, what sort of difference does that make to you?
Well, especially after the cleaning, I think the holds are feeling a lot better for these athletes, but definitely more comfortable for them to climb in. The cooler temperatures help.
Yeah. Well, this is Thomas Ballet dancing his way to the top. And Helene
That's
Yannicott.
original.
Yes, I'm sure that's never been said before. And Helen Yannicott, yeah, give me grief. Thomas Ballet was 4th in Chamonix. And again, he's one of those athletes who doesn't like to travel so much. He did the Asia Tour in 2012, but has tended to stick to Briançon, Chamonix, Imst, Valence, and was 4th in Chamonix this year. So it was a very respectable position for him. And you know, I suppose it always helps when you're in front of a home crowd as well, and they're all cheering you on. I remember Miss Mascarena's doing pretty well with 4,000 or 5,000 people in Vail giving her what for.
Yeah, it definitely helps to have the crowd behind you. You can feed off the energy when you're climbing.
Yeah. Well, here we've got an Austrian crowd, so maybe not so many people cheering for, again, double French efforts. So the French have had a good qualification here. Hélène Yannicott, she was 15th in Chamonix, 9th in Briançon, and she reached the final in Haiyang in China, the first World Cup of this year, where she finished in 7th place. Usually she dabbles with the odd bit of bouldering. She was in Grindelwald early this year, but really didn't trouble the officials too much with 33rd position. A little bit dark on that camera there from underneath, but sometimes you're getting you get the lights coming into the camera, so it all affects. She's got quite a severe bit of tape there. What do you think that's trying to sort of protect? You know, usually these things are sort of covering injuries or strains. What, you know, any idea? No?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Kinesio tape.
Yeah. Maybe we'll ask
Maybe
her
an
later.
ACL.
Yeah, no, it's well, it's you know, it's like it's down the big muscle at the back, isn't it? So it's usually you see these around joints, but to have one all the way down the leg, maybe it's just there for aesthetic purposes.
Doesn't seem to affect her climbing too much.
No. Yeah, both sides of the hamstring for sure. So maybe she's had a little tweak and she's just trying to be safe. Still early days for both climbers, of course. It's neither of them have really got to a point where anybody's been doing any serious falling off so far. So you could say they're just warming up.
I think the event's going to get a lot more exciting as we start to see the climbers in the later sections.
Yeah, absolutely, that's always the case. Of course, we've got the finals tomorrow. Climbing starts at 7:30 local time here in Austria, or 19:30 if you want to go for a 24-hour clock. So we'll be live from around 7 o'clock. And we've got a few events to come. We'll be in Munich in 3 weeks' time for the World Bouldering Championships, which is always a fantastic event. And Munich is always one of the highlight events of the year as well. And we're going to be pretty busy. We go off to Gijón for the World Lead Championships in Spain into September, and then Nomeo for the World Youth Championships down under. There's plenty of action yet to come.
Both of these climbers are starting to get to the trickier parts of the routes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Yannickot's. She didn't take a big rest at that particular hole a little bit earlier on, and now this is a little awkward spot for her here.
She's one of those climbers that can push through the pump and just keep surprising you.
Yeah. This is a tough one. This is an awkward one, but she's done well there. And there you see, so Ballet's in and around sort of 4th, 5th position at the moment in terms of the men's. Yannickot is moving up, and I think that's getting that hold. I think has taken her to 2nd place now. So only Jenny Levada is ahead of her.
Thomas Ballet also doing really well. Styling with the toe hooks.
Yeah. This is where we saw our last athlete fall off as well. Ballet is straight through that area.
Almost matching the high point. And Helene, oh, both of them off.
Oh, that's incredible. Both come off at exactly the same time. And I'm not sure if Yannickot actually, I don't know if Yannickot actually took the lead there, because you know, that sort of area could be around the cutoff point. What do you think?
I think that she'll get the plus.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, we'll have a look at the leaderboard shortly once we get the opportunity. You see, there's a good crowd here with all the seating in place. The bars here are doing. The restaurant here doing a great trade. It will be absolutely packed here tomorrow. So we're past the halfway point. A few photographers up there. I just noticed in the top right-hand corner, you can see one of the photographers up there for the duration, getting as many spectacular shots as possible. Well, before our next climbers come out, let's see how we stand on the leaderboard. I'm currently not updated yet, so there we go. So I think Levada still leads, but I'm pretty sure that Yannickot will be in 2nd place there. We will see in due course. Next 2 climbers, we'll have a look at that in a second, and once that gets updated, we are working a little bit behind real time. And on the left-hand side, Marcello Bombardi of Italy. 20 years old, from Casinalbo, a man who's been on the verge of semi-finals, and he's actually made 2 semi-finals in Chamonix and Briançon, 21st and 22nd place, his last 2 events. He's still a youngster really on the circuit. Has finished in medal positions in the junior circuit. And on the right-hand side,
Risa
Ota. Yeah, what do you know about her?
I think she was also in the bouldering circuit this year.
Her name doesn't ring a bell, but having said that, the Japanese did send over a massive number of athletes, so she could well have. There's Nanoka Ono, who's obviously, she's the SpongeBob SquarePants of bouldering climbing. She has a SpongeBob SquarePants choke bag, you see. So she was in Grindelwald, we're live being told. So just having a little look. In fact, I've got the database in front of me, and yeah, she wasn't in Grindelwald, I'm afraid. But she was in Chamonix and Briançon in 8th and 13th place. She is one that just does lead climbing, and still early days here. Yeah, it's we just have a little look. This is the ladies. In fact, Yannick took. You said it, Michaela. She got a plus there, so she's taken the lead, 45 plus of Jenny Levada. They are very close. Just look how far down they are. Is that something that a route setter would normally not have? You've got a massive wide open wall there. Why have them so close?
Oh, I'm not sure. That's a good question.
We'll ask the route setter tomorrow, shall we? Okay, we'll ask him tomorrow. Don't worry. Leave that for me. Here's the men's, and Primozic still leading with about 46 plus. Ballet having moved serenely into second place with 44 plus.
It looks like we're getting pretty good separation with the results. Only one tie in both men and women.
Absolutely.
The setters must be pretty proud of that.
And if you're Kim from Korea, I think you're probably packing your bags to go home already. Although everybody, of course, will be watching the finals tomorrow. Still early days here for both. Of course, all of us online. And time just to check any questions online. It is pretty quiet in the chat room tonight. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a Friday night, isn't it? People go out and have social lives. I can just see there's a little bit of a debate about Bjornsson going on. Nice to see Calvin Landrus watching. Where are you all from, everybody? If you're watching this live, do tell us where you're from. I know when we were in there, we had people watching from Australia and New Zealand and Korea, and it was so crazy, 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. So do come and say hi. I know you're probably chatting on the YouTube chat, but the YouTube chat is not one that I'm actually monitoring. It's the hashtag in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. IFSC WC is the one I'm told that it's the usual. It's the usual droll that you get on the YouTube chat from people asking what climbing is. So yeah, the intelligent people all go to the IFSC World WC hashtag and come and have your intelligentsia conversations with us. Meanwhile,
sorry for all those YouTube commenters out there.
I am a late 40s old puddy. Oh, you've got some Michaela fans on the YouTube chat. Oh, okay, well obviously there's some very clever people on there then.
Or maybe not.
I've just, yeah. I can even see Graham Alderson is on. Now, how can the IFSC technical delegate be tweeting on the channel? I've got to go and have a word with him. So, Risa Ota, the Japanese have just been producing some incredible climbers over the years. And we've already seen on the bouldering with Miss Manoka Ona, who's just completely turned the time when women's bouldering is as strong as I think we've ever seen it. We get an incredible young athlete come through and break into the top 6. And of course, Fiona Gucci is also doesn't seem to be doing too bad.
Ooh.
Here's Bombardi. This is the big one.
Oh, it looks like he didn't stop on the green volume for a bump before that move, which probably could have helped him.
No, he really didn't prepare, did he? He was never anywhere close. And I suppose he's young, and he's going to learn from that experience, isn't he? He's going to see what the other guys are doing, and realise what he did wrong.
I'm sure.
How old are you, Michaela?
I'm 19.
19, right? Oh, incredibly young. So there's going to be time. You're still going through that experience of coming off walls and realising, if only I'd have done that differently.
Oh, for sure, but I feel like that will never stop, no matter how old I get.
Yeah, it's a tough learning curve out there.
I guess it all comes down to gravity.
Risa Ota now, she's in this little complex area. She doesn't seem to have been troubled so far, but this area certainly seems to separate a lot of athletes. Quite a few have come off here. Nice to see Matthias Hammer watching from Gothenburg, Sweden, alongside some live surfing from California. What a dude. Climbing and surfing on 2 different screens. Cool. And Moka B, watching from Slovenia. And of course, quite a few Slovenians are in the later stages here. I do apologise for making that comment. It's nice to have a little bit of controversy. Hopefully that'll spark a few people. That's what I was really looking to do, honestly. Read a revolt. Ashley Scott in sunny England. Yes, I was there this morning. Beautiful place. Oh! Risa Ota tried to reach across with her left hand. Well, she's looking fairly content with herself. But I don't think that's going to make her through to the final, though. It's pretty tough qualifying through to a final, isn't it? Like, qualification through to semis is bad enough, but then to get down to the final 8. And Magnus Midtberg. He's a man who's been around quite a long time on the Lead World Cup.
Strong climber from Norway who's definitely had a presence in the World Cups, but he also has climbed really hard outside. I think his hardest set might be 8C+, which for you US climbers is 514C.
He's 25 years old, from Oslo, and he's had a few bronze medals in his time. He was bronze medalist in Kranja, Slovenia, 2012, and also Chamonix in France in 2011. He's been in quite a few finals. Looking down the list, I think there's 10 finals I've counted him in there. This year, he's actually 3 of his best results have actually been this year. Hayang, he finished 10th. Chamonix was 7th. Briançon was 10th. So he's certainly moved up of late, it's fair to say. And here's our next female athlete here on the right hand side, Matilda Beckerat. Matilda, again, France had a very good qualification. A lot of French athletes coming through here. She was 17th in Chamonix and 12th in Briançon. She actually didn't compete in 2013 at all, so it took a year out. And she's partner of Sean McCall. Don't know how much she gets to see of him with all this travelling around the world on all these World Cups. Well, obviously not. They don't travel together. She didn't compete last year. She's in Laxu. She did the commentary with us in Chamonix earlier on this year, which I haven't actually heard, but I bet she was quite French and very excited about Sean doing so well.
I believe that last week or 2 weekends ago in Briançon, she had one of her best World Cup finishes as well. She's doing really awesome this season.
12th place in Briançon. Mitbo not hanging around here. He's going to quickly this route. And so far he's not broken into the top 8, but he's not far away now. Already a number of climbers have you see that they're not going to make it through to the final. Still got quite a lot of big names yet to come. Just looking at the ladies category. Evgenia Malamid, Mamoka Oda, Dinara Fakhridinova.
Dinara F.
I really should read that before I try and say it. Fakhridinova. Right. Katerina Posch, Magdalena Rock, Mina Markovic, Elena Miller, Jessica Fields, Anna Verhoeven, who's been the real find for this year, and Kim Jo-in of Korea. So That's the women's list, the ladies' list to come. And the men's is really impressive as well. Sebastian, Halenki.
Magnus looking strong.
Yep.
Oh. Nice.
Great strength there from Magnus.
Oh, trouble with that clip. Must be the rope drag on these
Yeah,
long
the
walls.
rope's actually got tangled here. Can you see? There's it's sort of just got caught up with one of the holds, and that just made it a little bit awkward to pull.
Taking the high point.
This is good.
Still looking. Oh.
And what happened there? What happened there, Michaela? Because he just, you know, he got an easy grip of it, and he just seemed to mishold it, as it were. His fingers just slipped.
I think he definitely looked tired from all that swinging around with the feet cutting.
You think he'd given it up so much that he had nothing left?
Oh, I think both of us would agree that he could have gone further, but comp climbing, unforgiving.
Yeah. Just looking at the men's is Skofic, De Grange, Ondra, Super, McCall, Pablanc, Gisolfi, and Schubert. And that must be a brother-sister combination, Gisolfi as well.
Indeed.
So there's another one to our list. So I think we have 4 so far on our list. So here's Becca. Now this is the first major test. So I think when the ladies get to this stretch, this is where they're really going to be tested. And she's taken a bit of a break here. We haven't seen many athletes actually have a break. But Tilda decided to have one, and she's moved on to the next. Across.
She's looking really strong through this section.
Oh, what a hold.
Oh, she's fighting for it.
Oh, well, she fought her way through that. But that was a little bit like we saw with Nicole, wasn't it? She was really struggling. She was getting to a natural end of that climb.
It's times like that when you can see how bad the athletes want it and just refuse to give up when they're really tired.
Yeah. Well, we'll have a look at how she's doing in a little while. Meanwhile, next up
Sebastian.
is yes, Sebastian Halenki. Always easy to spot. 19 years old, from Giengen, and the man you're going to see a lot more of over the years. He finished 13th and 18th in Chamonix and Briançon this year, but he's still competing in the juniors section. He actually won the World Cup here in Imst in the male juniors. Took the gold medal just a couple of months ago, and he took the bronze in the European Youth Championships in Edinburgh. And that was just about 6 weeks ago, so he's a busy guy. Early days here. Still, nobody has really sort of stumped their authority from some of the early climbers on this. But, you know, they're all sort of falling a little bit by the wayside, and it's, you know, the As you can see, there's the men's. There you see Marcus Mikbo just getting one ahead of Primozic. Still pretty frustrated with himself. And you know, we've still, still quite a few climbers to go. What have we got? Still 10, 11, 10 climbers to go. If you're Mikbo or if you're Ota from Japan, who overtook Janikot there, you're still not dead sure that you're going to make through to the final, are you?
No, for sure. Competitions are always fun to watch for the pressure and the excitement of what's going to happen next. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some tops here tonight.
Sure. Some big names to come. Evgenia Malamid of Russia. She's 27-year-old from Russia, from Voronezh. She finished in 12th in Hayang, 14th in Chamonix, and 17th in Briançon. So not made a final this year, but she did. The last final she reached was in Imst in 2013 last year. She made it into 6th place, so she wants this wall. In fact, in 2012, she actually achieved 4th place here, so she's reached a 4th and a 6th, so she's going to be an outside bet for actually getting into the final here. And Helenki's he's firing all guns blazing, isn't he? He's up in this little difficult area now. This is the area where we see really sort of, differentiates between the men and the boys, doesn't it? And that's an easy hold there, you can see. There's lots of nice places to grab onto.
Not sure it's easy.
Well, not easy, but relatively easy perhaps. And he's gone back to that again, just to have a little rest.
Relatively easy if you're a male World Cup climber, maybe.
So this is an awkward spot here. We've seen a few come down at this particular point. He's doing a wise thing. He's just taking his time, taking care on each hole. A little rest here. That's an unusual place to rest.
He's
upside
got
down.
A really solid heel hook on the seafoam green volume.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice indeed.
Looking really strong.
Yep. And as you say, he looks as if he's got more left in him.
And confident.
Oh, very good indeed. Now, we haven't seen this area before. And Sebastian Helenki. Oh, he's still got more to give, surely. Yeah, he just shrugs his shoulders a little bit. And, well, we might see him in the final with that move, because I think he's just taken the lead. And he only needs, he's certainly got a good upper body strength. This guy, he works out a little bit, doesn't he? Yevgenia Malamid now of Russia. She's still got a little way to go now. This is a place we've seen quite a lot of. That she's just taking a break here. We've seen this quite a lot with female athletes. Just taking it easy. Why would she have 2 watches on? I want to ask. One could be her stopwatch, do you think? So it is quite quiet on the IFSC Twitter today. Nice to see Stephen in Vestfold, Norway. Okay, a bit of a debate about some athletes in there. And Hi to Edward Tham. Shouting out to Nadia, your climbing partner. There you go. These are the best climbers in the world. Nice comment, kid. Yeah. We should go to YouTube. Yeah. He's probably right. So Yevgenia. You have to smile. She's easily. She's looking comfortable, but she's taken a lot of time here, isn't she? And you know, there is a thought with the you know, with lead climbing that if you are quite slow, it is going to hurt you. And you know, it's going to, those fingers and arms are going to be hurting a lot more if you take the time going there. You should be getting up, like we saw it with Helenki. You know, he shot it there, just the.
I think a lot of it can be just the climber style, you know. We have Delaney Miller from the US, who's perhaps the slowest climber I've ever seen, but you can't deny her strength. She's an incredible athlete, and here she is in the second semi-final of these last 2 World Cups.
Yeah. She's yet to come as well. On the left-hand side, Koichiro Kawanaga of Japan. And this is actually only his 3rd ever senior World Cup event. In fact, he's only ever competed in 4 youth events as well. So he doesn't climb a lot, and this is his first event at senior level outside of Asia. So welcome to Europe. He competed in Hayang and finished in 8th place, so had a good position in Hayang, and obviously he's got a bit of confidence behind him perhaps if you finish 8th in your local area, and he's popped over to Europe to have a go. Yevgenia Malamid here. Now she's on these larger volumes. This is the area which is really sorting out some of the athletes. It's fair to say she's got to try and make it well into that grey area. You can see the 2.
She's fighting for it.
See the 2 triangular grey holds there, which she's got to try and be getting into that area to qualify for the final. But she has been finalist here for the last 2 years. You can see those 2 grey holds just a little bit further up. That's her target now, and she's really close. Yep, there she goes. She's made it onto 1. Oh, and that's the hold. Yeah, she wasn't even close there. But that was the one that's caught our Japanese athlete earlier. And Malamid's going to be biting the fingernails a little bit later on now, as we will see some of the other climbers go up there. So back to Kawanaga from Japan. 18 years old from Saitama. I'm not sure where that is. This is a beautiful shot from above. That's a beautiful shot as well. I'm really getting into the swing of things here. Just see this. What do you call this hole that goes down this, like a banana shape? Is there a particular name for that sort of hold?
In outdoor climbing, I guess a feature like that would be called a tufa.
Tufa?
Or just a really long pinch.
Yeah. Just struggling there, doesn't have a lot of height.
Can't reach the second banana.
No. Yeah, we'll call it banana. I prefer banana. He's going to have to jump here. Oh, beautiful. What a hold.
Oh, man.
How can he do that? That is incredible. Beautiful work there. That's tremendous. And that's one of the holds that we're talking about, shorter climbers, where, you know, he's had to really put a big effort in on that one.
Yeah, but clearly didn't thwart him. He's still in the running.
Yeah, and he's got another good grip there.
Fighting all the way.
This is beautiful. Good strength as well. Not bad for an 18-year-old, is it? where we get into the little awkward area. Now we're getting into the, as you would say, the business end now. This is where we separate the men from my boys.
That clip is really going to be a trick for him.
Well done, nicely done.
It's going to all be about this recovery for him right now.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, oh, he's not holding, is he? He's not resting. He's straight on, and that might be his mistake. Oh, should he have had a rest there?
Oh, smiles. I think he's pretty pumped.
Japanese athletes are always all smiles. But Mikhail, you got to say, he should really have taken a rest there. We just saw it with Alenki, that he took a bit of time, and then he moved on up, but he just never took the option for a rest at that moment.
Sometimes you've just gone past the point of no return.
Yeah, he just wanted to carry on. Dinara Fakhrutinova. Say it right this time. From Russia, 21 years old.
Also a shorter athlete.
Yeah. From Salavat. She was 5th in Chamonix, 10th in Briançon, and looking down her record, she's in 2013 looking through here, she was 4th, 6th, 4th, 4th and 6th. So she really does have a real pedigree with lead climbing, and she tends to make the finals. So it would be a real shock if she didn't make it through to the final. Still 7 more climbers to go. She won the European Championship in Chamonix in 2013. The European Championships alternate with the World Championships every 2 years, which I suppose for American and Asian climbers is a good, because the Europeans get 2 major, major event every year, and you guys, you don't compete. Do you have some sort of, like a North American or?
In the recent years, we've had Pan American Championships where we, compete with South America as well, and this year we have one in Mexico this fall.
Domen Skofic, Slovenia. He's on the wall. He's 20 years old, from Ljubljana. He's the second Slovenian athlete from Ljubljana, and he's bronze medalist in Chamonix this year.
His first podium, I believe.
Yeah. He's reached podiums at junior level. Won a lot of golds as well. Had a brilliant 2012. Won 4 golds in a row. Which is pretty unbeatable. Here he is now with the big boys. Really competing with them was 6th in Hayang. So reached the final in Hayang. Was bronze medalist in Chamonix. Had a disappointment in Briançon, which is 14th position. But as we talked about earlier, Briançon was a little bit sort of false, because of course the athletes want to get through and sort of competed through to the final. So it was a bit of a shame really that we had to it had to be cancelled due to the weather. But that's how it went.
But I think the semi-final results were a good representative.
Yeah. And, Sachiyama getting to the top without a chalk bag. So both athletes are number 19 on their backs here. Just their start number. Still yet to get to the crucial points of both climbs. see Akhmedinova coming up towards the box area, so we'll just concentrate on her for a while. Lisi Malamid just equal first with Ota, possibly Ota on campback, just behind Malamid, of course. Skofic, we can leave him for a little while because he's still got a bit of climbing to do, so it's all about Fakhridinova at the moment, the Russian. And this will be interesting because she's one of the real top athletes on the tour, and it'll be really interesting to see how she just gets through this. We've seen quite a few fall at this area already. She's moved off that first volume onto the second volume without even having a rest. A lot of people took a rest on the first volume.
She looks really comfortable on this route right now.
Skofic, still very early doors for him. So all the action to keep an eye on is on the right hand side here now. Another awkward one for her. This hold is not easy. Left arm up. It's a little shake. Not exactly sure how she's going to do this yet. She's just struggling a bit here, isn't she? She's just trying to find a good position where she can get this reach.
This girl's got some fight in her.
Oh dear.
Just a little short.
And she knew that was an awkward point for her. She knew that was a difficult reach, and that's going to put her out of the final. And the disappointment etched on her face. She looks as if she's in tears a little bit there. She's really not happy. But you could see that the way that she was having 4 or 5 sort of holds, and she went back and she re-choked. That you could see that she knew that was going to be a big moment for her, that reach, and she didn't feel comfortable with it, did she?
No, it looked like she couldn't stay in the rhythm with that part of the climb, and unfortunately for her, she missed the hold. And I think most of us would agree that she could have done really well.
Yeah. Now I think there'll be a few people secretly rubbing their hands who are a bit lower down the field, because Fakhridinova will almost certainly have not made the final. She'll probably be on the top 8 at the moment, but there's still some real class to come. 7 athletes to come. We look at Domin Skofic, the bronze medalist from Chamonix. And he's in this little tricky area, which has caught quite a few people out. We saw it literally in the last climb as well with our Japanese athlete Korinaga. He decided not to take a rest here, and he just carried straight on. Well, Skofic wisely just takes his time. And maybe this is just a bit of an experiencing, isn't it? Skofic has climbed a lot. He's been on many events, and he's just taking the opportunity for a little break here.
I think he knows that the head wall is going to be quite a sprint to the top.
Yeah. Makes it to the next one. This is a good point. Fighting the way here. This is good. He needs to just pump that one through. Now we're moving on to a new level. So Skofic here. We've not seen anybody up this area so far. So we have a new leader.
No, he's a couple moves from the high point.
Is it? Oh, the 2 reds. Apologies. There's only 7 kilometers to go. Skofic could be guaranteeing his place in the final here. Marko Oda has just started on the other climb, but we'll come to her shortly. So we're now at the high point.
Domin has the new high point.
And Skofic into the lead. Now on 53. And he has just guaranteed his place in the final because there's only 7 more athletes to go after this. So Roman Skofic is now just climbing for his, of course he's climbing for a potential medal here, because if he can try and get to the top, he could go to countback. Don't know what the weather forecast is today. Don't say that, we don't want to hear that. But Skofic, actually a lovely little foot.
If there were style points, he would get them.
That's a classic little move here.
Oh, just fell short of the top.
But he knows he's done well, and the crowd are giving him a big round of applause there. He's acknowledged them. Surely he knows that's put him through to the final. And Skofic leads. Well done. On the right hand side, Momoka Oda of Japan. This lady has really been one of the star names of the tour over many years. Medals, she won in Imst. She actually won the gold medal here in 2012. She was silver medalist here in 2013. And since then she won a bronze in Purs, a bronze in Perm, a bronze in Mokpo in Korea. She was 5th in Rujiang, bronze medal in Valence 2013, a gold medal in Kranya 2013. And so she's quite decorated, you could say. Actually, this year's not been so good for her. She was 11th in Hayang, 11th in Chamonix, and 5th place in Briançon. So this year's not been as good. She actually did a bit of bouldering as well at one stage with Innsbruck and Grindelwald in 2014. And she's a pretty decent boulder, 10th in both those events. Bouldering in Baku was 8th, Chongqing was 10th. So she's one of these girls who's very busy with bouldering and lead. She's pretty good at both. She's only 20. Don't you just hate her?
No, she's inspiring.
She's incredible, yeah. On the left-hand side, Romain Devrange, France. France have certainly had a very good World Cup here. We've seen a lot of French athletes through to this semi-final. He's one of the elder statesmen now of climbing, 31 years old, from St. Cologne. Silver medalist in the last event in Briançon 2014. He was actually 5th in Chamonix and 4th in Hayang, so he's certainly one of the form athletes on the tour. And looking down his performances, his last 10 performances, he's not been outside the final, going back to Imst last year. So Imst he made the final and finished in 8th. Purs he was 4th, Perm he was 5th, Mokpo 5th, Wujiang 4th, Valence 5th, Kranya 7th, and then Hayang, Chamonix and Briançon was 4th, 5th and 2nd the silver medal. So he's been in a lot of finals, never podium except for Briançon. So maybe that will just break the mold a little bit. He did win the European Championship in Chamonix last year as well. So he is the reigning European champion. And Momoko Oda is away. Oh, she can't believe it. She's looking up to see what happened there. That is a shock. She will not make the final. And yeah, you can see the disappointment on her. She, did you see, Michaela, what happened there?
I was paying attention to Roman.
Well, it's unfortunately we don't have replay facility at the moment. We're hoping to get this sorted tomorrow. If you only joined late, we obviously we got struck by lightning a few weeks ago in Briançon, and we're just trying to get the best we can to get these pictures out. But for today, we don't have a replay facility. We're hoping to have that sorted for tomorrow. One of our technicians here has a very bright idea, but Momoka Oda, she's not a smiling Japanese lady. We say that Japanese people do like to smile and wave, but she's not happy. Meanwhile, Maman Jagrange is just having a little rest on one of those banana holds. It's yellow, we've got to call it banana hold, haven't we? We're just having a little look at the replay actually on the YouTube channel, because you can look on the YouTube channel. Oh, she lost her balance, didn't she? Tell us, Michaela.
It looks like her foot popped and she just couldn't quite hold the next hold.
Of course, you're able to watch. You have the advantage of being able to watch on the YouTube channel, which we just did here as well. So we just watched how Momoka Oda met her destiny. And Romain Degrange here, having seen Scoffage qualify for the final. Just wonder if these next 7 guys are just going to do the same. Here we go. And there you see Scoffage so close to the top. He was 1 reach away, 59 plus. And he is through. So Halenki is going to be currently sweating a little bit. So he'll be sat back watching. And he'll know the position. There'll be a coach or a friend will have told him what's happening. And he'll know that he just needs one of these next 7 athletes to have a bit of a problem, and then he's through. Katerina Posch of Austria just joining on the right. She had a birthday recently, so congratulations, Katerina. On the left, Romain Degrange. This is a crucial point for him now. This is an area that's caught quite a few people out. Has a little break there. Again, this is a feature you do see with the top athletes. You know, they're happy sometimes to go backwards if they realise that they're not in a good place. They're just happy to pop back a little bit, have a rest, and then carry on.
You take all the rest you can get.
Yeah. And you see Romain Degrange here. We've identified that hold is a good hold to give you a nice little break. And Romain Degrange has decided he's going to use that and just take 10 seconds. Now he's off again. Yes, nice movement. Making this look good. Here's the reach out. No problem here. And Mr. Halanki.
Looking really strong.
Yeah. Mr. Halanki might just well drop down to 3rd place after this climb. Posch is still early on the right-hand side. That's the area where athletes typically have a little early break. Just let their just have a little rest, get a bit of choke on their hands. And Katerina is doing exactly that. Degrange moving up there. Great view here. Not far from the top now. Just one big reach. There we go. Just have to work hard on that orange volume. And oh, so close. Oh, 59 plus for Degrange. The same as Scofic.
Taking the lead.
And now we have, well, he is in the lead, of course, because he started later than Scofic, so on countback, that will do. But he's going to be thinking later on, that might cost him a medal later on if it gets to countback. That's one of the features you get in lead, which you don't get so much in bouldering, isn't it? That countback does work quite well. Bouldering, you don't see it so often. Michaela?
I think that the setters try their best to not let it come back to countbacks and like good separation right in front of them in the semifinal round and also in the final.
You make a great politician. Good answer. Means you've got Graham Alderson who's breathing over your shoulder right now. So here's Katrina Posch here. Now that's where Oda went. She definitely made a bit of a rudimentary error there, and she's again going to be one of those that's going to be difficult to share the room with tonight. Now Posch, now this is where Fakri Denova went. She will have trouble at the top of this volume, just as she was trying to reach that small hold, and Posch decided to go backwards here just to a different grip. What's happening here, Michaela?
It looked like Kathy skipped the big rest at the bottom because she wasn't comfortable making the clip there, so that could be why she's so tired this early.
Yeah, and incredibly, Katerina Posch, well, another name. She may possibly not make the final. It'd be really interesting to look at the leader group right now. It's, you know, I'd have put her down as certainly getting, you know, getting much higher than that. Her and Oda both together, and she went pretty much at the same place as Fakri Denova. So, although the ladies won't have their results updated, I think we could pretty much say, yeah. Let's have a look at the men's first. This is how the men's are looking. So De Grange and Skofic, both with 59 plus. De Grange leading on countback. Alenki, he's the man who's going to be really sweating. I can see here. He was the sort of leading athlete out of the next group, but there's still 6 to go. You know, he really would be just tossing a coin as to whether he's going to make it. If we can have a look at the women's anyway, we don't need to see it updated with the last climber, because you can see Fakri Denova there with 41 plus. To be honest, yeah, Posch, Fakri Denova, you've got to say those athletes are going to be dropping out fairly soon, aren't they? Burfind is on there in 24th place. So Janikot, Ota, Malamid come to the top 3. And here we go. The unmistakable Mr. Adam Ondra from the Czech Republic on the left-hand side. And on the right side, from Austria, it's Magdalena Rock. And well, Adam Ondra certainly, I remember talking to him 3 or 4 years ago when he was just really fresh kid on the scene, and really, I think, shaking quite a few people up with his ability to boulder and lead climb. He does a bit of everything. And 21 years old. And where do you stand on Mr. Adam Ondra? He's got an incredible record for outdoor climbing, hasn't he?
Yeah, arguably he is the best outdoor climber in the world right now, up there with Alex Magos, who's a young German climber. But as far as the World Cup circuit goes, he's yet to prove that he's the best competition climber out there.
Yeah. He's just competed on the 3 World Cups this year. He was 9th in Hayang, 27th in Chamonix, and 8th in Briançon.
And Magdalena has sure made a name for herself on the World Cup circuit, and I believe she's only 20 years old.
Yeah, there's certainly 2 young athletes we're going to see a lot more of in the future. And Adam Ondra, for sure, is one of those athletes that a lot of people were really, you know, couldn't believe his abilities, and obviously his outdoor abilities have been pretty groundbreaking at times.
It's safe to say that he climbs with a lot of emotion based off of his reactions when he comes off the wall.
Yeah, he certainly he does get visibly upset when he comes away. Magdalena Rock, she has taken silver medals at in Hayang, Chamonix and Briançon, so she really is one of the the female climbers that's on tremendous form at the moment. 3 silvers in a row, which wouldn't be bad normally, but you've got an athlete ahead of you who's taken 3 golds in a row, Kim Jae-in. So Magdalena Rock has been absolutely fantastic this year. But, at the moment, Kim Jae-in is just nailing every event, and she's still to come a little bit later on. But Magdalena Rock herself, she's she qualified from qualification in 6th place, so actually, by her standards, she topped a little bit. She topped qualification number 1, but she actually didn't get as good a score on qualification 2 route. She scored a 32 plus there.
I wouldn't count her out yet for this competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And she'll be very aware that there's a bit of work to do further up this wall. This is the, as you said earlier, this is the business end, isn't it? This is where it all Ondra took a silver medal in Innsbruck, in the bouldering event in Innsbruck, which is the only event he actually competed in this year on the bouldering side of things. So he is one of those athletes who's very happy to do bouldering and lead, but I think his commitments mean that he doesn't enter so many of the events, and he actually only entered 2 events in 2013, one in Valence, which he won, and in Kenya, where he got the silver medal.
I think that knee bar rest is going to help him in the upcoming part of the route. It looked like he was able to recover a lot.
He's just very easy at the moment, isn't he? He really looks as if he's in a bit of a rush. He might have a dinner date tonight. He's slamming up that wall very quickly at the moment. You see both of them getting towards the sort of testing part of the wall now. Magdalena Rock. Now this is actually caused trouble to the last few climbers here on the right hand side, these 2 boxes. This has already upset a few people, so let's see how Magdalena does. Adam Ondra hasn't even taken a break there. Normally we've seen a few athletes have a break in that last area. He's actually moved straight on. He's already looking on upwards, so no messing around here from Adam Ondra.
I think one of the unique things about his climbing style is how aggressively he goes for it. If he's going to rest, he really rests, but as soon as he's moving, he doesn't stop.
Holds on there, swings the legs out. He looks as if he means business here, Ondra. Magdalena Rock, meanwhile, Ondra's away! Well, I think he realises he's done enough. He's certainly qualified for the final, but he's just lost. I wouldn't mind seeing that one again. But meanwhile, Magdalena Rock, we were all watching Ondra. Magdalena Rock has made it through that awkward area, and she's now into the next zone. So Magdalena Rock could well be guaranteeing her spot in the final right now. This is where we've seen Levada.
I think Magdalena's taking the new high point. Looks really solid as she works towards the top.
Yeah, this is good. This is really good. Not many holds to go. She's qualified through to the final, and she's gonna make a big move for that top hold. Just a small one there. And one more hold. And well done. Yes.
First top
Beautiful
of
work.
the night.
Yeah, absolutely the first top of the night. So I think you could say the route setters have done a good job. I do agree.
Gotta feel good in front of your home crowd.
Yeah. Magdalena Rock. She gets a top and she gets a place through to the final. So it is possible. And Adam Ondra, well, he certainly would have been a little bit surprised. I was sure we were going to see a top from Adam there, but he just seemed to just lose a hold, just unexpectedly, really, because I don't think he thought he was in trouble. He just reached out, missed it, and he was gone.
Couldn't quite hold on.
Yeah. So, not many to go now. We're into the final 5. Gautier Super, our France, 23 years old, from Colmar. And another one of these athletes who's no stranger to the podium. He took the bronze medal in Hayang in China this year. Was 18th in Chamonix and was 5th in Briançon. And has been in many finals in previous years as well. So he's been around a lot, this man. The top French athlete. He's qualified through. There's been a lot of French athletes who've qualified through to the semi-finals here. I think, yeah, did he just yawn there? Maybe he's so relaxed. He's very laid back. Yeah, he's hardly pumped. And on the right-hand side, Mina Markovic of Slovenia. Very talented athlete indeed. 26 years old, born in Maribor. 3 results so far this year. Was 5th in Hayang in China. Was bronze medalist in Chamonix. Took 6th place in Briançon. Okay, so it's pretty quiet in the chat room tonight. Don't know what's up with everybody. Just maybe, yeah, Friday night, everybody's out, everybody's watching other things. A few people asking about grades of the routes. The routes aren't graded, so they're very hard. I can say that for sure. But can't really, in terms of giving them classifications, we really can't say that, and we're not. I don't think anybody's qualified to say it here either. Maybe the route setters could do it. There's a question in here which I will hand over to my resident climbing expert. In which degree is rope drag a nuisance? In the last 10 metres in World Cup lead climbing? Now, I'm not sure if I even understand the question. So.
As you get higher on this wall in particular, rope drag would be an issue at the top, but lower down it doesn't really affect the climbers. In settings so technical as this, I'd say that each clip is just as difficult as maybe some of the moves, and the body position is really important. So in the top, you really have to climb efficiently and clip in the correct places.
I understand. So basically, as you get much higher, you've got all this rope that's hanging off you going down the climb. So basically, it's pulling you back.
Indeed, yeah.
Simply put, okay. Thank you for that question, Stephen. And as I say, then it is quite hard. Certainly the bouldering seems to be pretty hectic when I've been on the bouldering side of things, but
Where's our lead climbing fans out there?
yeah, come on, lead climbers, what's going on? Maybe they're all on YouTube posting questions on there. We should be looking there. So, Gautier Sapeur of France on the left-hand side, Mina Markovic on the right. Sapeur is he's got through that little area, so now he's coming towards these two circular volumes.
Climbed his way into a spot for finals.
Yeah, I think this is where Halanki bit the dust. He's through these. He will be in the final. Yeah, and so I think Mr. Halanki is still waiting for one of our top athletes to fail. And unfortunately, that might be a forlorn hope for him because everybody at the moment is just getting through these. Well, Sapeur goes. He's not looking very impressed at all with that. And Markovic now on the second of these little box volumes, which has caused trouble. We've seen Oda, we've seen Fakridova, we've seen Posh go. Now with Sapeur. I'm not going for the obvious pun on that one. Markovic. Now you see, she made that look easy, didn't she? So that was a problem for a few athletes, but she just reached out. She sort of got her left shoulder into that box. Now she's up to the next level. So little rest here for Markovic. Bigger rest. So she's just looking up ahead and seeing what's coming. Of course, we have a very flat view here, but we don't get a good view at all. There's the sort of the underhang at all. Come on, Nina. There it is. They've taken the spotlight off it for some reason, I'm not sure why. It's looking good. The spotlight is there, we've just increased it, so concentrating so much light on her. Markovic. She's moving up. I think she's in second place here. Question is, will she top? We've just seen Magdalena Rock get to the top.
So close.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything here to trouble. Yeah, that's a good hold.
She tops.
That top hold's pretty deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's, look at it. It's coming out the wall. So if you've got that far, you've done all the hard work.
How well deserved.
So yeah, give them an easier top. Fair enough. So Mina Markovic, slightly out of focus. Mina Markovic just makes it beautifully there, and she will be through to the final. 2 tops in a row, just like London buses. You don't get anything all night, and then 2 at the same time. And here's Sean McCall of Canada.
He's also going to be competing in the Sika Black Cup next week.
Great, hope he can swim. He seems to be able to do everything, doesn't he? I haven't asked him the obvious question, because of course one of his amazing facets is he plays piano pretty well. But for somebody who's a climber, he's got very hard hands, and you've actually got quite soft hands, haven't you? Okay, a little bit hard. But I was speaking to Alex Johnson, and her hands are incredibly hard. I just wonder how he can play the piano with such hard fingertips. Here's Sean McCall. He's him and Jakob Schubert fighting for that overall World Cup ranking position. And Sean is pretty much a full-time climber of the IFSC World Cup, to be honest. He competes in all the events. And he's certainly very happy that the season has been, as he put it, sorted out so that you get all bouldering competitions to start with. You get the bouldering events over, and then you can concentrate on the lead competitions. 26 years old, Sean McCall from North Vancouver.
Have no fear, he is wearing a harness. It's just in his pants.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a brave guy. So, it's on the right hand side. Oh, you're interested in this one. Delaney Miller.
Yep, she's a 19-year-old from Texas, our current national champion in the US. She timed out on her second qualifying route, but hopefully we'll speed it up to get to the top of this semi-final.
Well, didn't do it too badly because she's qualified in 4th place. And only 19 years old, so you'll have been fighting against her many times, I'm sure, on the wall. She competed in the bouldering as well over in Vale, and she made the semi-finals there. She was in 19th place overall in Vale, and just competed in Beyonce this year in lead and was in 16th place there. So I suppose this is the trouble, isn't it, that it costs a lot of money to travel and stay in Europe. So if you're going to come over, you're going to pick and choose your events carefully.
Yeah, for sure, and Delaney decided that it would be better to do multiple World Cups rather than just the World Championship.
Yeah. Plenty of time for a World Championship in the future, for sure. Sean McCall has just made it into this little awkward area, but as a specialist boulder, I don't think there's anything here that's going to give him too much to worry about. In fact, he's just taking a little rest here before he gets to that easier hold, the relatively easy hold, I should say. Lady Miller just taking her time. She's on some of the lower ones at the moment, so nothing to worry about for her. So I think fair to say, concentrate a little bit more on Sean McCall here.
Can he get the first male top?
Yeah. Notice Sean competed in the speed event in Chamonix, finished 31st. So he'll have collected a few ranking points on that event. But, he was ninth in the lead. So one of those who does everything really. Does a bit of lead, bit of speed, just to grab a few points here and there. In fact, we talked about it if you look up on the YouTube videos on the IFSC channel. We did a little interview with Sean McCall, and we did talk a little bit about some of his speed work.
Whoa, skipping a sequence. Maybe not. Just jumping the gun on getting to the top. Well, Mr. Underwent. In fact, McCall goes as well. Well, he's cool about it. I think he knows he's made it through. But look at those pants.
Yeah. Interesting start. But yeah, same place where Adam underwent. Sean McCall's a little bit disappointed with himself, but he's showboating a bit for his fans. We'll see you tomorrow, Sean. Well done.
Delaney's still moving along here on the women's route.
Yeah, now we can concentrate more on Delaney Miller here. She's starting to, oops, camera just doing a bit of focusing. Right, here we go. So, this little Just two little volumes. They've caught some pretty experienced people out.
It looks like she's keeping her pace up pretty well, which I'm sure that her coach back home, who I know is watching, would be really excited to see.
Well, this area's caught out Fankudanova, Oda and Posh. There's three big names there that you would expect to be in the final. They're not going to make the final because of this area. So Delaney Miller can get through here, can move on. She's every chance of making the final. I think certainly in the women's competition, this is a really good opportunity for Delaney to make a final here. And she just get through this.
She's been working really hard and training on her power, so we'll see if it all pays off.
Tied up with the rope there. What's she going to do? She can reach and hold it. Well done.
I wouldn't underestimate the strength of this young lady.
Yeah. That was good because she got herself in a bit of awkwardness there. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, there's a few people on the chat room I can see waiting for him. Ramon Julian Paglang of Spain. And this man, 32 years old, has been there, he's done it all. Delaney moving on up, I think. Well, she's in the area, she could, I'm not sure, but she may have just made the final here. It's here or thereabouts. Can she just get the next hold? I think that's those silver triangles were her place, but she's still going.
Doing a country crowd.
Yeah, she's in. Just had it confirmed she's going to make it through to the final, so we're going to see an American in the final. Currently in third place, so just the two athletes who topped ahead of her. And it doesn't really matter what happens here now, she's done it. Well done, Delaney Miller, 19 years old. You're through to the final.
As her roommate, I guess this means I have an early bedtime tonight.
No partying in it. I don't think there's much to do in Imst, to be honest, but no partying in Imst tonight. There is a lot to do in Imst, right? Okay.
Oh, definitely.
Right, I've been going to the wrong places. Oh, look at that face. She's just been told you're in the final. And yeah, she's happy. So that's a smile. Yeah, so here's our multiple world champion, Ramon Julian Paglang. He's really been one of the star athletes on the IFSC World Cup for many years. Looking at his history, it's just littered with gold medals. And you can see those where Ondra and McCall went off, both of a 53 plus, but Ondra was a 54 plus. McCall and Super went out. So with Ondra, with Paglang, two more athletes to go. Super is in the final, and Palenki is the one that's sweating because with Paglang, two more athletes. Means three athletes could drop off the bottom of that list. So our red-headed Mohican may just miss out. Paglang is looking solid here. He's a machine, this guy, isn't he?
A small machine.
Yes. He's seen a few moves from him in past years where he's just, if you're showboating climbing, he's one who he can showboat just to show how strong he is. this is just a normal day in the office for him. He's taking his time, re-chalking all the time. And as you say, he's one of those smaller athletes. So here you go. This is your man. Smaller athletes can do really well here, but it's he's done it over many years. He's 32 years old, so he's been climbing for 16 years.
Yeah,
and he's been at the top all that time.
he has the strength to make up for the height for sure, and he climbs really well, which is a very important thing in the sport, especially in lead climbing when you do only get one chance.
Yeah. He just to give, this is quite looking on his record. He took a gold before the IFSC was even formed in the UIAA World Cup in Kranja, Slovenia, 2002. So that's a little while ago. You were 7. I was still old, but he was taking golds 12 years ago at this level, and here he is now. So all that experience under him. He took multiple golds in 2003, and then I just won't bore you with the rest of it, but assume that he took lots of golds. And of course he's taken the World Championships in the past as well, so he really has been one of the most decorated athletes in climbing history. Here he is again, to be on the road. Another one. In fact, 2014 was probably not being his best. He was 15th in Hayang, 6th in Chamonix, and Briançon, who's just outside the medals in 4th place. So actually, probably for him, not his best season.
Time for some redemption.
Yeah, it's payback time. Jessica Pils on the left-hand side from Austria. She was in 3rd place coming into this event. The blank here, just making this look so easy, isn't it? Pils finished 10th in Chamonix. And 19th in Briançon. Looking good here. I don't think he's ever looked in trouble, has he? He's just making this look ridiculously easy.
Another day at the office.
Yeah, it's just another straightforward qualification. I think Halanki has just dropped one more place, so
Looking really composed here.
yeah, that's where Sean McCall went.
And also Adam.
And Adam Ondra, yes. Adam Ondra went on that one, and yeah, he didn't get through to the orange, so he's got past there, so now we're equal 3rd.
Can he get the top?
Come on. And it doesn't even look as if he's broken into a sweat. Here it is, one jump for the top, and he's got the top!
Nice. Second top of the night.
Well, the first top in the men's category. Ramon Julian Pablanc. Our 3rd top of the night, and it's the first top in the men's. And well done. Well, the crazy thing is, he topped, and he actually made it look so easy, didn't he? Piece of cake. Okay. Jessica Pils now, she's starting to move towards the business end of this.
Another young crusher.
This climb, yeah.
For sure.
17 years old. From Haag in Austria. She's competed at Imst a few times before. And also in Kranja and Chamonix a couple of times. And this will be interesting. How's she going to do here? good. Hold there. So the second box has caused a few problems for a few athletes. What will Jessica do? We've seen two tops in a row on the women's category from Mina Markovic and Magdalena Rock, and Delaney Miller got through this stage and she's progressed through to the final as well. We'll have a look at the leaderboard after this particular climb is over. See where we stand. It's a good hold from Jessica. She's working hard here. That's a tough area, isn't it, those boxes? Swing out there to maybe have a look at that next hold. Even taking a little, I don't think we've seen many people take a little break there. It's not the easiest to hold at all. She's on to the next one.
Done for the final.
Yep, and I think she's just managed to qualify for the final here now. So one athlete is going to drop away.
Impressive performance.
Yeah, superb there. Jessica Pills, the crowd are loving it. Big round of applause there for the Austrian. Jessica Pills will be through to the final. Two athletes to go now. Both, and there's a chance we can have a look at the leaderboard to see how we stand. So here we go with the men's league. You can see the Blanks top on there. Grange, Scoffy, Chandra, McCall, super. And two athletes to go. Stefano Usolfi. Fine early this morning, earlier this evening with his sister. So it's Helenki and Mitbo who could potentially be going out. And that point is 48. So you can see 48 is the little red circular volume on the left. If they get past that, then that's going to drop out, Mitbo or Helenki. Let's have a look at the women's while we're here. There you see Markovic. We've actually, this is not correct. There's a few missing here. Delaney's not on there. Oh yes, Delaney Miller. Okay. And so where's the top missing? Magdalena Rock. Was she on?
She had a top.
She had a top, I'm sure. Unless somebody was very pedantic about something. Maybe she didn't quit. I don't know. But I'm sure she did. Well, she's only coming up as a 49 plus. We might even try and find out about that before we leave. But yeah, she definitely thought she had a top. She was waving around at the top, smiling at people. So usually do that once you've reached there. So on the left, Stefano Usolfi of Italy, and Anak Verhoeven, who really has been the find.
Another young crusher.
Another young one, yeah.
Yet again.
Well, Stefano Ghisolfi is only 21 himself from Torino, and was 25th in Chamonix, 16th in Briançon, and 7th in Hayang. So made one final out of the last three. Anna Verhoeven, meanwhile, she's had a great time, I think. She's considering that only 18 years old, considering that she hadn't competed at many events at all in senior. She did compete. She has competed in odd ones here and there, but she was dominant in female youth, winning. I've got to count this out: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 golds in a row in 2010, 11, and 12. That's a pretty good record, isn't it? To win 10 golds in a row. So Anna Verhoeven, in her first full season at senior level, she has competed in senior events going back to 2012, where she was 24th in Chamonix. But in the last 3 events, she was bronze medalist in Hayang, she was 4th in Chamonix, and bronze medalist again in Briançon. So she really has been performing pretty well, to be honest. Sophie here on the left. He's managed to get up to that area fairly quickly, where you have yourself a little break. And this is the crucial point now. It's getting across to the right-hand side, and then it's the red circular volume. If you can get past that, and Magnus Midtbo will be partying tonight.
Aside from competition, Stefano's also been crushing on rock. I think he campused in 8A a couple weeks ago and sent a 9A recently, which is 13B and 14D. For the Americans.
So it's pretty good.
You could say that he's one of the strongest.
So Gisolfi just having quite a long break here, isn't he? This is quite a long rest he's having in that area. Now he's moving. There's definitely an optimum time, but you know, some of the athletes sort of say that you shouldn't be hanging around too long in a particular area, because all you're going to do is you're going to build up more lactic acid as you hold on. Just checking his result. Yeah, he's not missed a clamp. That's good. Apparently, okay. So we've done our public service here, because apparently the officials realised that they've made a mistake. There was 2 tops, so Magdalena Locke has now become the top, and that's been corrected on the system. So it's good to see that we're helping somebody out here. So here we go. This is the one. It's this left-hand one. If you can move across the... Oh, he's off! Now.
Foot popped.
Yeah, the foot went. And Gisolfi, now, where is he going to be? Has he got past Halenki or not? I think Mitbo has gone, that's for sure. And we're just going to have to wait for that result to update. So we're going to wait and see, wait for a score there. Meanwhile, Anna Verhoeven, this is the little awkward area in the women's category. There's just one more climber to go in each category now. And then we'll have our 8 finalists for tomorrow. Due to start 7:30 local time here. Central European time. And probably start the show about 15 minutes earlier or so on our YouTube channel. Waiting for the judges' decision to come through on that climb from Gisolfi.
If they gave him the plus, they'll count back and he'll be in the final.
So the score has come through as a 49. We'll have a look at that in a second. We'll we'll just take Anna Verhoeven for the moment. And apparently, he's been given a 49, which means that he's below Halenki.
No, above.
But he's above Mitbo. So Mitbo has gone. He's above Mitbo. He's above Halenki.
So he is in the final.
So he will be in the final. Oh, and Anna Verhoeven's gone. Wow. Hands have gone to the head. But will that be enough? That's the question. I'm not so sure. Last one up, Jakob Schubert of Austria. And I don't know if we've got the results. We can just look at just to see what our final situation is just before Jakob goes. Jakob has been out a little bit of this season. He's had some finger ligament issues. And he's come back pretty strongly, say for sure. He's had a great start to this season already. First, a second and a third so far in the 3 World Cups. There you see Gisolfi given a 49. So Halenki with a 48 plus. He's the man. And you've got to say that Jakob Schubert's going up the wall. I'm not sure I'd be putting a lot of money on Halenki getting through to this final. 48 plus is all that needs to be beaten. So Gisolfi just made it. He must have just got a decent hold on that 49 pole. But having said that, even if it was a 48 plus for Gisolfi, he would have still qualified through on countback anyway. So this is a big climb here. Jakob Schubert. He has been outstanding over the recent years. His career is littered with first, second, thirds and fourths in his last 10 events. In fact, there's only one 24th in there, and that's when he had a little pop-up doing some speed climbing in Mokpo in Korea. Of course, they had a little go at doing them just to collect a few points for their overall ranking. And on the right-hand side, the one and only Kim Jae-in of Korea. Kim, who's been absolutely outstanding in recent times. In the last 4 events, in the last 5 events, she's won 4 gold medals. Now, I'm not sure what happened in Kranja, where she only finished 4th.
Only.
Yeah, poor girl. But looking back on her last 10 events, she's got 8 gold medals, 2 silvers. Sorry, her last 11 events, she's got 8 gold medals, 2 silvers, and that 4th place. So she really has been getting used to the top of the medal podium, looking down on everybody. So far, 3 golds in 3 events in 2014 in Hayang, Chamonix and Byeonsan. Jakob Schubert moving very nicely up this wall. Just that red circular volume. Yeah, let's have a look at the women's scores as they stand at the moment. We've just seen the men's. Schubert just needs to get past that left hand circular red volume. There you see Markovic and Rock, so that's been corrected. They both top. And the girls sweating away down there on the bubble. Helen Janicot of France with a 45 plus, which basically means if Kim Jae-in can get to those 2 silver volumes, those 2 silver triangular volumes pointing towards each other, she gets there, then she'll be in the final and Janicot will be booked. you've got to think that both of these are going to make it, haven't you? There's just these two athletes are absolute class.
I'd like to hope so, but you know, I think it'd be a pretty big upset if either one of them fell early.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially Jakob in his home country, and Jane after crushing in the last 3 events.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not only top athletes, but they're also in form as well, and there's nothing like form in climbing, is there? Being in form to the wall. And these two are really, and Jane just moving on steadily.
They make it look easy, but I promise you, it's not.
And these are the top international climbers now here. These are the top guys. Well, we will be live tomorrow, of course, so make sure you come and watch. I know it's Saturday, it's at 7:30, but we're going to be going live around 7 with our pre-show, a few interviews, a few chit-chats, a bit of a presentation, and getting ready for the night.
Jakob has secured a spot in the final.
Good call, absolutely. So poor Mr. Helenki is gone. So there'll be no Mohican in the final this year. And that just goes to show, doesn't it, that all those earlier climbs, that, you know, those people who, you know, from the earlier part of the climb who do so well, it's all relative because you're going to have some incredible climbers coming through, and, you know, it happens time and time again. They've just been knocked aside.
The top from Jakob.
Yeah, and Mr. Jakob just decides to get to the top. He didn't even sweat there, did he?
Puts him in first place.
Yeah.
Do the count back so we're running.
And he'll be the last man out tomorrow night. Jakob Schubert. He just made that look so easy. It was only a second ago you were saying that he just made it through to the final, and then 10 seconds later I looked at you, we started having a chat, and suddenly he's at the top. So no messing around from Jakob Schubert. And let's see how Kim Jae-in here, our final climber, see many people just hang from there like that so far, but she's yeah, she's very graceful climber. It's poetry in motion. It's a bit like watching Akio Noguchi on the bouldering side. Just incredible. Looks like they're making no effort whatsoever, and yet they have got these problems that are giving so many others real tough, awkward moments.
She's another small climber like Dinara, and this next move gave Dinara a lot of trouble. It's where she fell earlier. And no problem at all.
No, that was just so easy. And one of the things I haven't got on the IFSC database that I need to check is just how tall Kim Jae-in is, because she really is, you know, she's a short athlete, isn't she? She's, and she doesn't look strong, you know, her shoulders don't look incredibly developed like you see with some athletes, but she's just climbing up here comfortably. She's got a body responsive now. That's at the end, that's put her qualification through. She's reached those triangular parts. So Hélène Yannicot of France is unfortunately the girl who's on the bubble, and she's out of it.
If she tops, she'll be in first place right into the final.
Her and Jakob Schubert both coming out for their final climbs tomorrow night, as they have been tonight. This has just been quite an exhibition, both on the men's and the women's. There was never any danger in it. And that was just, again, just another day in the office. Kim Jae-in, another top, thank you very much. Her and Jakob are the only people to have topped everything so far. Well, we're just going to wait for a few results here to come through. Michaela, any final thoughts on what you've just seen tonight?
I think that the route setters did a really good job with these two. It seems like they got the separation that they needed, although there were a couple upsets, you know, Dinara falling earlier and also Miroka Oda, but for the most part I think it was a great show.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's our confirmation. We'll have the proper full results coming through in a second, but that's how the men's finished, with two tops from Jakob Schubert and Roman Julien Paglang, with Romain de Grange, Damon Skofic, Adam Onder, Sean McCall, Super and Gisolfi making up the 8. And that's how the men's went. And interesting, you know, obviously the leaderboard goes all the way down, and we saw quite a few people sort of have trouble around the sort of 35, 36, 37 area, and that area never even came into it when it was deciding the finalists. And here's the women's categories. So Kim Jae-in, Mina Markovic, Magdalena Rock, all topping, and other athletes there. People start walking up into our camera. I think we're going to have proper full scores coming up in a second. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage here with us tonight. We're going to be bringing you all again for the finals tomorrow, the top 8. Semi-finals, of course, was the top 26. So always took a little while. That was a good, what, 3.5 hours? Took a little while, didn't it? 3.5 hours every time spent holding a microphone. Here we go. That's the official leaderboard. You can see Sebastian Halenki and Magnus Mitbo just missing out on the final spot. And if we have a little look down page 2, was just give credit where credit is due. Primozic, who was one of the early leaders there, finished in 11th place. Ballet also down to 12th. And Hangul Kim in 20th. So that's the men's category completed. Now our 8 finalists. Five to 10 in the evening here in Imst. We are going to be live from around 7 o'clock tomorrow. So I hope you're going to join us then, and certainly you can catch it all up on YouTube, of course, at your own leisure. Here's how the women's semi-finals completed. Top 8 through to the final, and 2 from Austria, and then all the other countries, 6 other countries in the other 6 places. So really nice to see a good spread. And Delaney Miller, your roommate.
Very proud to have her in the final. She's been working hard this season, and she definitely deserves it.
Yeah. There's page 2. So what sort of preparation, you know, will she literally, even though it's the finals at 7:30 tomorrow, obviously she won't be out clubbing tonight or anything, but, you know, will she just go to bed early and just sort of try and get a good night's sleep ready for tomorrow?
It's already pretty late. I'm sure that she's exhausted after that climb, and tomorrow we'll wake up, have breakfast, and it'll probably be just a relaxed day until it's time to crush.
Well, there you go. And if any of you are wondering what that 30 is on the wall, Helmut, who's one of the big wigs here in Austrian climbing, his son is 30 years old. And so they probably thought it was his birthday. It's a lovely, lovely scene. We're going to be talking to Helmut tomorrow, and we'll be putting that video up. We'll be playing the video out, and we'll be talking to a few people around the scene. So hopefully we'll get a few videos. It's a little bit darker now than it was early on. Absolutely beautiful sunshine. Thank you very much for watching. And from Michaela and myself, Adrian Battersby, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
Right.
Bye-bye.